That's his thing.
Oh, is he the attorney? Yeah, that's good.
I mean, the record, he's got a great record of some big wins. Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the only show of its kind anywhere in the universe. We talk about the things that make you tick and the things that tick you off. This hour brought to you by Icon Eye Care, where you can have wonderful eyesight, never needing glasses again. And I'm talking about a clear lens replacement, even if you don't have cataracts. It used to be if you had your lenses replaced with cataracts, you had to pick. Do you want near vision or far vision? Now, Icon has lenses that focus. It's that simple. Never need glasses. You see crystal clear. You don't have to wait to have cataracts to get them. That means if you're 40 and you don't like your eyesight, you've always worn glasses or contacts, toss them. Get a clear lens exchange and never need glasses again and never get cataracts. My eyes, the silicone lenses will outlast me. And I have eyesight like a young man. IconEyeCare.com. Of course they do LASIK. And of course they do all eye care for all conditions. You know, macular degeneration, glaucoma, other eye diseases. IconEyeCare.com. This show is unlike any other, and I want to explain this. We have seamless integration between the show content and the spots. Sometimes I work my commercials into the content, meaning somebody calls about a car thing, and I say, well, have you checked out so-and-so? And it's not done to fool you. I let you know this up front because we check these people out, and they're held to a higher standard. They're our experts. If you ever have a problem with them, you can call me personally. You don't get that on the other lists, ever. Mark Trenner is with us from our referral list at referralist.com. He's an intellectual property attorney. We have fun talking to him. We talk about inventions, trademarks, copyrights. So if you have any questions or concerns in that area, give us a call. He loves doing it. We love doing it. I have something I wanted to talk about. A friend of mine has, or somebody that wrote to me, has some invention ideas. And we'll talk about that. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. So, what's your life all about? Give us a call. It doesn't have to be just on intellectual property. We never have a one-topic show. So, let's talk to Jessica. Jessica says, I signed a contract with Events and Adventures. Is that right, Jessica?
Yes, sir, it is.
Okay, when did you sign that contract, and what is Events and Adventures?
Sure. Events and Adventures is a social club. They put out a schedule of events for you to attend, and you can choose what you want to go to. If there's a cost for anything to the event, you pay for that separately.
But I like that idea that it's a social club, so it's not awkward like blind dating or dating, but you get to meet people. And I take it that couples don't sign up. This is for singles?
Right, it's for singles only, and that's why I signed up. I was looking to make some single friends. I'm newly divorced, and so my social group is primarily married women. So I was looking to go out and be active and meet new people, and it sounded like a great idea. I was really excited to sign up.
Okay, and, Jessica?
I signed up at the end of July for a contract starting August 1st.
Okay. And what happened?
Well, when I was in the first meeting, this 2-hour-long appointment that was very much structured to the format of, was I good enough for the club? Was I going to be chosen for the club? Should I get in? Would I?
This was your first appointment after signing up or before signing up?
No, this is the only appointment I've had. It's when I signed up. So when I was, quote-unquote, accepted into the club, they brought out the contract. The rep went over, now this is just what we talked about. You're going to come to events. You're going to be a good part of the club. And she went over everything that we did.
Okay.
And then she sat the pen down on it and then continued to talk. And here's where I went wrong, and this is why I'm telling my story, because I want people to hear this. Because she went over what she said was in the contract, and because the whole meeting was about was I good enough for the club, I wasn't looking at, well, is the club good enough for me?
Well, listen, that is by the way, so far I've heard nothing wrong on either part, and I think that is a common sales tactic. In fact, you have many companies who try to flip the proposition, I call it, from a seller's perspective to a provider's perspective, where, in other words, you become privileged to use them. It goes even through home improvement sometimes, or buying a car. Like, oh, really? You want to buy one of our cars? There's nothing really wrong with that.
No,
but anyway,
not.
so tell me the problem.
Okay, so it's just a sales technique, and I want to be clear. This is not what I sold them for. Again, I wanted to take the contract home. The sales offer expired that day. It was just a high-pressure sales environment.
But you fell for it, in other words.
I fell for it. I absolutely fell for it.
Okay.
And I don't fault them for that.
Okay.
It was my mistake.
And neither do I. By the way, listen, I don't know what would have happened if you said, I'm absolutely not going to sign it unless I can take it with me. I don't know what would have happened. But the point is that, honest to goodness, so far I just hear good old American salesmanship and a consumer signing up for something. So I need to hear the problem part. And by the way, even if there's not a problem, I love hearing from you because others then can learn. So go ahead.
Exactly. And that is the point that I just want to share my story because this did not go well for me. So I signed up, and once you sign up, then you get the schedule until then. So I get the schedule, and unfortunately, the events are primarily Monday through Thursday evenings, Saturday and Sunday mornings, with a very few exceptions. I teach dance fitness, and I teach Monday through Thursday evenings, Saturday and Sunday mornings.
But this is not their problem.
It's not.
Okay.
It's not their problem, but the club was not a good fit for me.
Okay, it was not a good fit, but you found that out after you signed up. So let's get right to the point. Did you want a refund?
Well, I had not paid in full. It was a payment plan.
Okay.
I wanted to leave my contract. My rep said, give it some time. I kept getting pushed out. Like, we'll just try another event. I couldn't make any events.
Okay. So where does it stand? Where does it stand right now?
Well, where it stands now is apparently there was a 72-hour cancellation window, which I didn't know. Obviously.
Oh, that's nice well, hold on. That's nice that that's provided because it's not required.
Okay. Well, either way, I was past it, so it didn't matter. So went round and round with the company like, I can't use this membership, I can't go to events.
Jessica, so let me hear this. You want to cancel and not pay anymore.
I would like to not pay anymore. I'd like to cancel my membership.
And they're saying that you do get to pay.
Right.
Okay.
And the problem is not with that. That's a contract dispute. That's a problem. We can go round and round. We can deal with it there.
Then what's the problem?
The problem is here. The problem is that they didn't like that I wanted to cancel my contract. And so they flipped from being a company that I had a problem with to being people who were then trying to harass me, disparage me, attack my business.
Now, how are they trying to attack you?
They're writing false reviews on my company.
How do you know it's them doing that?
He used his own account. I sent you a screenshot. You should have an email of it.
All right. Hold on.
That's kind of odd if that's the straight skinny, man. That
is odd, but hold on a sec. What is your business? Fitness, did you say?
Yes, it's called Fit Dance Fitness.
And what was the review? Did it lie?
The review said that he would never take classes from me.
Because of how you're acting with this?
I would assume so.
Well, in the strictest sense of the world, Mark, this guy can review her like that. He dealt with her. He didn't like dealing with her, and he said, "I don't like it. It puts a bad taste in my mouth." Hold on, I'm gonna come back to this. I have some very specific comments. 303-713-TALK. So hold on, and we will address this. 713-8255. I'm Tom Martino. Ideal Home Loans for your next Ideal Home Loan if you're looking to refinance or buy. IdealHomeLoans.com. Now, Ideal has many loans available, and they're not one size fits all. Truly, Ideal will find the best one for you, and I mean that sincerely. And they have the interest rate guarantee, which means if interest rates go down, they will refinance you free of all lender fees. That's 303-867-7000, idealhomeloans.com. Now, another kind of loan is a reverse loan. Let me just say this right up front. Reverse loans fit few people. When they fit, they're wonderful. You live off the equity. You never have to pay it back. It goes against the home's equity. Even if it goes over the home's value, you'll never owe more than the home. And of course, if the home goes up, you get to keep whatever's above and beyond the loan balance. Like I said, it's for some, not for everyone, and ApprovalReverse.com will tell you the truth. They won't try to force you into it. 303-771-3528, ApprovalReverse.com.
Pull up.
He said he would never use it. I'm not making excuses.
I just looked at it. It's kind of fucked up. Pull up Ameritrade.
It is fucked up.
Pull up your Ameritrade.
Okay, hold on.
No, the thing was reviews is that truthful. So if you're posting
Now,
on a
Well,
Here's
it
what
says
he
I've
put.
never used this studio.
I know.
Yeah.
He put. Oh, did you
I
see
see
it?
it. I see it. I get it.
Pull
I
up,
think
pull
they
up
handled
refer-
the whole thing wrong. Okay, the whole thing is wrong.
Hopefully
you know
not.
how we feel about it. You know how we feel about that.
Pull down. Pull up. Look at the trade I did for you today.
Would you end up getting rid
I
of
got
it?
the fuck out of it now.
What's it up to?
It started going down. I fucking sold it. I bought it at the
Did we
bottom.
make money?
Just go look at it.
Hey, God. Mark,
You owe me half of whatever I made you in the last hour.
I will buy you dinner all the time.
You owe me lunch. It's just lunch.
Let's talk about John Fuller. He is an attorney.
So I saw a commercial during the Sunday game, one Sunday game, okay? Very strange. I don't know if it was Taco Bell or Arby's, but it was a McDonald's M logo. I mean, it was evident they were going after McDonald's.
Wow.
And it just went across the screen the whole time. And I thought it was a McDonald's commercial up into where they started dogging McDonald's for whatever reason.
Okay, Mark.
I didn't realize you were allowed to do that.
It's complicated.
See what I bought NIO for. Just look at your transactions today.
Of what he collects. If someone is irresponsible,
And I know right
if someone is negative,
Where did we buy it at? There it is.
that's what it's all about.
Phil,
Why should
Phil.
you do
So we
what
bought
you
it
do?
at-
Don't feel guilty. What you
Here,
need,
bought
the
it at-
services of someone competent like John Fuller, who knows all the areas of law involved.
Yeah, he's done. It's over.
$2,180
And
an hour.
in less than an hour. That's a real day trade right there. But see, look, if you look at the times,
I'm a good day trader.
well,
To
actually
be
a little
good
more.
day trader, you have to know who to trade with.
Look when I bought it, 8:40 a.m. and then we sold about 2 minutes ago. Quick 50 cents a share. That's the electric Chinese car company. They did their IPO today. I do a lot of.
IPOs always get a bump, don't they?
Well, I'm telling you, man, you got to move quick.
You know,
'cause there's-
Facebook.
There's a lot of
stung
guys
people
like
that-
me looking to get
Their
now.
IPO stung people, but then it did come up, of course.
Yeah.
Anybody who bought the IPO and kept it, they made a shitload of money. But people panicked because they didn't get the
Right.
immediate bump. Remember that one? And then because they panicked, it kept going down. But then eventually rebounded. And I think the reason Facebook's IPO did not do the traditional big skyrocket is because
Appliance factory.
people's expectations were too high.
They're telling me they're on the log.
Set it up for.
Now, are we on audio?
Yes.
We can't mention specifics right now because we're on broadband.
You've heard me talk
We gotta
about
get you
stem
right.
cell therapy.
We
I've
gotta
done
get you
extensive
right.
research.
He knew that.
Just
He thought of a lot of other stuff
Oh
outside.
my gosh.
Outside the trademark.
All
Yeah.
kinds of
stem
things.
cells.
Yeah.
They're all
Like just using the
living stem
Yeah.
cells harvested
Yeah.
In fact, I want to ask him, just in a general sense, about confusion. Have people, how does that work?
Yeah, because, let's put it this way.
And let's ask
Let's
our
say-
audience if they've ever been
If there
confused.
was, like I will, with an ABC, I'll give you a scenario on the end.
Okay.
I do have to go.
There is an appliance factory.
Okay, you got to add appliance factory. There is one on there.
So I have to add it, right?
instead of a knife.
Yeah, add it on there.
What am I doing with it? That one I read?
I am sending
Oh, I
you.
got the copy, Mark. It's the same shit.
He just sent me a press release.
Not a fucking new one. Come on, man. I have it all written out.
9201.
Hold on.
303 963 9201.
So I talked to him and he put that up and then he said he took it down in just a few minutes.
Hey, you check it out.
Actually, it looks like they have it set up for recorded live, which you don't even have any recorded lives for them yet, do you?
No, nope. They're all live.
Yeah, they didn't set it up that way, so I'll
It's okay. I got it right here.
They can. Instead of one glass
What's the name of the
Is it the Oakland one, Mark?
Yeah.
Okay, then I'm gonna do.
And I'm reading theirs, and they basically did the same thing you're talking about. He's coming in today or for a little bit.
Well, I'm gonna read it the way I have it because I have.
No, but here's what I'm saying. I think, isn't John coming in at noon? He's coming in at noon. We'll just talk to him, and that's the spot.
Now? Okay.
Well, let's do the spot, and then he'll come in.
On this thing, he just put this review up yesterday.
Huh?
He just put that review up yesterday for a couple
He pulled it
minutes.
down.
And he pulled it
I'm
down.
Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. Budget A1 Transmission and Auto Repair is offering a
Transmission service for just $149. $149. They drop the pan, change the filter, change the fluids, any belts or hoses or any minor adjustments. If there's anything wrong, they give you a full written report. If you have any minor repairs done, any repairs at all, of course, they credit you the full $149. That's Budget A1 Transmission and Auto Repair. If any work is needed, they do all their machining in-house. In fact, they do a lot of the machining for other shops. So go to the source, Budget A1 Transmission Auto Repair. It's on South Santa Fe, just south of Dartmouth, 303-781-9858, 781-9858. And they're on my referral list at referrallist.com. I want to go back to this problem and then talk to our esteemed guest, Mark Trenner Law, about intellectual property on something called brand confusion, which we have some emails about. And it's really a great topic, brand confusion. So Jessica is here, and then Mark Owen is here. I just want to say something straight up front, Jessica. You did, and then I want Mark to talk. I don't think, I think, you know, you signed a contract, and by the strict sense of the contract, you obligated yourself. And the reasons you want to get out, whatever all that is, that's all water under the bridge. It's not their problem. It's yours. However, we have an overall philosophy at the Troubleshooter Network. It's certainly not law. It's not even mandatory, not even with our referral list members. But our overall philosophy is, if you have and this is good business practice, if you have a consumer who wants out of anything at all, whether it's windows, a health club, a deck, a lawyer, a hot tub, anything. If a customer wants out, and I'm going to say this very clearly, and it does not cost you, truly, any hard cost, it really doesn't cost you, then there is no reason to keep them. And here's what happens when you keep them. They will never be happy, and they will always look for reasons, always, to find fault. It's the worst thing you can have is a captive consumer. Ever. Right. It's the worst thing. You're a captive consumer. Now, I'm going to let Mark talk, because in my personal opinion, this has nothing to do with ethics. It has nothing to do with legalities. It has nothing to do with anything. In my own personal opinion, they handled it all wrong. At the first sign of trouble, they should have just let you out. And the very worst thing you can do is go and attack someone. And Mark, I see the review, and I guess you took it down, but it was no class. So, in my opinion, you handled it all wrong. Am I saying Events and Adventures is a bad company? No, I'm not. I think it's a great idea, actually. Social events. You're not forcing blind dates on people. It's a cool idea. I'm only isolating it to this one case, and I am saying I think you handled it all wrong. But anyway, I want you to talk now, because she certainly had her say, and I want you to be able to talk. Go ahead, Mark. Thank you very much for coming on.
Thanks. It's good to be on with you. To talk about that comment that I posted, and it's a fair comment. It's exactly what I felt about her and her business. Like I said, I wouldn't use her. But, you know, I woke up in the morning, I got hit with some more harassment that she did in my company, and I was just like, damn it.
Yeah, I understand, man. We're human, man. I understand.
And I thought better of it about 3 minutes later, and I deleted it. So it was up about a total of 3 minutes. But she screen capped it, and
yeah, I know.
You know,
okay.
And then tried to use it, but like I said, it was a moment of weakness on my part.
May I ask you something, Mark?
I deleted it like 3 minutes later.
May I ask you something? Why would you,
yeah.
and but really, why would you, if you have someone who wants out, you know, and it really doesn't have a hard cost to you, why wouldn't you just cancel that auto payment? Well, I'm just asking you.
You know, yeah, no, I've been in business 32 years. We've done a lot of that over the years.
Yeah.
We've done a lot of that over the years, right? We're going to try to convince a person to stay.
Of course.
If they haven't attended any events. She never even attended an event.
Yeah.
You know, but when someone starts harassing you and they start putting fake reviews, and she says I put a fake review on it, that was legit.
But was that after, was it, Mark, was that after she was refused a cancellation? Was she fighting back?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Definitely. It was after she was told your contract says you don't have a right to cancel. It's
and by the way, owner of Events and Adventures is on right now, Mark, and this is not directed at him, but I want to say something. I have heard this 1,000 times over the years, and this is directed toward consumers. They say, you know, I might be inclined to do something here or there, but this particular person was so ascetic, or this person was so nasty, or this person came out with the big guns immediately, and I call it the customer behavioral guide, meaning that businesses sometimes, Mark, we've seen it, they react to how customers act, and it's almost like they say, well, they don't deserve us going the extra mile. And to that I say, you got to suck it up. And you have to kind of say, you know what, we just got to get rid of them. But anyway, go ahead, Mark. This had nothing to do with you specifically. Go ahead.
No, I agree, and I've had that feeling, right? I mean, normally when a troubleshooter calls, you absolutely would give the money back, even if you didn't feel like you should for whatever reason. You know.
Well, and we don't demand that. I'm just really.
Well, she's lied about my company repeatedly, though. She said that she didn't.
He's pissed at her. I mean, that's the bottom line. He's pissed. He's pissed. Jessica, have you lied about this company? I mean, really? But let's be open. Have you gotten pissed too, and maybe exaggerated a little?
No, sir. I stand by everything I posted, and I attempted to cancel 12 times before I posted anything.
Okay. Well, let me respond to that. Obviously, she got to talk for quite a while. She actually came in and signed her agreement on the 24th of July. Okay?
Okay.
She didn't put any money down until the 1st of August.
Okay.
Her agreement was not in power until the 1st of August.
Okay.
And her cancellation went after that.
Okay.
She was actually given a copy of the July calendar at the time of her interview and was shown the August calendar. So she knew exactly what our calendar was like. That's the main selling point we have, right? We go to events. We're clicking on things going, here's the event we're doing. She knew everything about the events. We have 44 events in August. We had something every night of the month, except for one night where there was a vendor issue. We ended up not having an event one night. But we have an event every night of the month. We had 13 different days when there were 2 events. So we have something 7 nights a week, a couple things on Friday, a couple things on Saturday, a couple things on Sunday most of the time. You know, and that's not including, you know, trips and stuff we're taking to, like, Cabo and stuff. But, so, there was something every night. She knew that. She knew what her schedule was coming into it. So to say that she didn't get her calendar until August is a lie.
Okay, well...
She also went to the movies with one of my staff members during that time. She texted her. They were texting back and forth like 50 times. She had the opportunity to ask any questions that she wanted. In the week before her contract even came due. Okay. So to say that she didn't get she didn't have any access to the calendar until August is just not true.
Okay. Well, Mark, as I said, we aired this. It's a legit problem. It mimics or mirrors, a lot of problems with all kinds of companies. It's not exclusive to you. People sign contracts. They change their minds. Again, I don't think every business has to give every dime back every time somebody complains. I just made a general observation that and I can see, like, we're all human, why you got pissed, by the way, I can see that. But all I'm saying is, to businesses listening, if you have what I call a poison consumer, and this is not directed at Jessica as a person, but she is a poison consumer. She is totally pissed off and will spend the rest of her life letting everyone know every time a $30 payment is taken out of her thing. And I say to businesses, it ain't worth it. I mean, if you're spending money, you have what's called, Mark, like a lot of businesses, a price per lead. And you're kind of blowing a lot of that price per lead money by having what I call a poison consumer. But
yeah,
and you have
at
to.
This point, it's about protecting my brand because she's made it her goal to throw a lot of negative reviews on
I understand.
website.
I understand.
So I have to, at some point, I have to get an agreement from her.
That's what I would do. I was just going to say that.
I'm not going to do any of that, and she's not interested in any of that.
I think that is totally reasonable to say, look, Jessica, both of you got off on the wrong foot. Let's say Mark didn't really do anything wrong. He just didn't let you have your way. So if he offers to give your money back, I mean, Jessica, it's fair to ask you to remove the negative reviews and not do it anymore. That's a totally reasonable request. How do you feel about that request?
I haven't actually negatively reviewed his company, by the way.
They're not? You don't have any negative reviews on there?
No, sir. I've been posting on my private Facebook page.
Well, that's what we're talking about. Come on, Jessica. We're talking about...
Well, but it's an audience, Tom. I mean, that's the difference.
But Jessica, what I'm asking is, here's what I hear him saying. He would undo the contract and make it go away, but he doesn't want to read a lot of bad stuff about his company, and I think that's reasonable. I don't think he did anything wrong.
He would have you sign a release saying that you're not going to do it or talk about it or anything negative. I don't think there's anything wrong
with that.
I've been asking to simply part ways. He's saying that I'm not interested. I've been asking for that.
But Jessica, would you take off the negative stuff you said?
Absolutely. I'll just walk away.
I'm not asking that, Jessica. I'm asking, would you take down the negative?
I said absolutely. I was agreeing.
Okay. So there you go. We don't have to like hammer out the agreement on the air, but Suzanne, maybe Mark can call him after the show. 303-713-TALK. Mark did something similar yesterday. 303-713-8255. Brenda, if you had to sum up your problem in a sentence, what would it be? I'll come back and we'll answer it. What's going on?
My husband and I went to Amira Ford to go purchase a brand new truck because we'd like a diesel instead of the gas truck that we have.
Yes.
And it's kind of been a nightmare.
Okay, you said it. A nightmare. We'll figure out why it's a nightmare. And again, those in business need to hear why consumers think certain things are nightmares. That's what you need to hear. Another thing you need to hear, if you're a homeowner, is all about Denver egress windows. I am so proud they've been on my referral list. Market, they've been on like 20 years or something.
Yeah.
I mean, Denver egress windows. You know what they do? They can rebuild the window wells you have, the ones that rotted out because they're old and the builders didn't use permanent stuff. These guys have permanent stuff that'll never grow old. It's beautiful composite material, wood-looking materials, and beautiful windows. They can rebuild your window well or put a window well, an egress window, in where none existed ever. You see, that opens up square footage that you could never use before because you're required to have an egress window. So they can rebuild, they can put in a new one, they can even create a walkout basement. Seriously, with a patio area, no matter what the shape of lot, as long as you have the room. Safety, protection, beauty, value, durability, egress, that's Denver Egress Window.com, Denver Egress Window.com, 720-626-4221.
You're going to have 2 per day.
Of what?
Of clients up until Friday.
But today, 2?
2, yes. 2.
I don't see him on the referral.
They are. In fact, I'm updating something on there right now. So we'll do 1, and then I'll just bring it up in content, man. Ask your opinion on it or whatever. I don't care. However you want to do it. And then
we'll do 1. Coming back, I'm going to do a quick spot and then bring it up about the game.
Yeah. They do the same thing on the landing page. They refer to it as Denver and Oakland, and in fact, even the helmets, one's orange, one's black, but there's no logos or anything.
Is it Appliance Factory and Mattress King?
Yes. In fact, you couldn't find them?
No, I can find that. I didn't know they were a mattress too. I thought it was two different
Did
companies.
you have to search that whole thing?
No.
Okay. Freaking me out, man.
No, I put appliance in and it came up. I just didn't know it mattress thing.
Yeah, they bought, I guess, Mattress King.
That's cagewindows.com. They're designed for both beauty and energy efficiency. Nothing improves a home like these windows, and you won't find a better company when it comes to ethics, to skill, and when it comes to standing behind their product. If you need windows, doors, or siding, you can rely on Cage.
Just bring it up on air and I'll tell people what I know. They simply don't answer at the golf course. You call up, no one answers, no one calls back, nothing.
I've left messages.
421-7100, khwindows.com. Why don't you go to their website? You can make appointments right on the
And the
website.
small claims court in Nebraska is only like $2,500.
Actually, we can tie that into it. We got someone asking, remember the guy who made the hole-in-one? And he didn't get his 10 grand because they didn't buy the insurance policy. I'm saying that ties right in with what Appliance Factory does, although they actually buy the policy. God, wouldn't that be crazy? You take the odds that you're not going to have something happen like that, then it happens.
Oh, I think it sounds like they're kind of flaky.
Who?
Whole golf course.
Oh, they don't even answer the phone if you call.
Right. And apparently they were able to get this golf course for...
If someone's got a better phone number for the owner or anything, I'll call. I mean, they never answer.
What is it, the golf course itself?
They bought it. They bought it for... This guy said, I don't know how he knows, it's worth like $1 million. They got it for like $200,000 or something like that.
What's that?
Buying the golf course. These people own the golf course.
Yeah, I know, but they don't answer the phone.
Right. And they don't return messages.
No more excuses, no more denials.
Actually, last time I called, you couldn't even leave a message.
So, Mark, there's an invention got roast me about that is, I think, ingenious. So it's a way to cock the gun when you have arthritis or limited ability. It's just a handle that squeeze fits on the gun. Okay, now, the reason I mention it because there's other things like it, but things that where you have to alter the gun, or some are just for the Glock, and some are just, they're not practical. Some, it requires a tabletop to cock it, or some you have something on your belt, and you put it in your belt and do this. Because cocking an automatic semi is hard. Okay, it's got those little grooves. So this is, I know it. And then the table one, and then you have the one that you literally have to machine the gun differently. This is the only one that like boom, boom, and then I mean it makes big wings. It's great. He wants to see what on a casual basis if you should even go for it, and I think he was discouraged because he found similar products. You know, he hadn't even searched before. And I said, you got to do that. And then he sent me a very detailed letter with these similar products, and I'm going to show you. I think his is different.
I'm going to text the Nebraska guy. He's going to get me a number. They're so funny. He's like, hey, do me a favor. Don't let Mark take you to McDonald's for dinner. I'm like, oh, we're going to go to Hawaii. He was over the moon for me. It's a guy from Nebraska wanting to know about that hole-in-one.
Oh, he wanted to know. It's not the guy that got it.
Do you want me to get Frank Duran? The guy owns 7 houses, is selling them all. He wants advice on if he can sell them all at once. They're property, or investment properties, I think.
Well, I can give him all that, but we should get Frank just for the PR part.
Okay, great. And then question for Trent on too. Intellectual property.
We got questions coming off the, you know, the bump stocks, when they did that, they said that was for disabled people also.
The first thing I thought of was a bump stock when he said it. The first thing I thought of.
That's for a handgun. And it really is for disabled people. It doesn't do anything for it.
I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK.
Take a seat.
So Art of Granite is the place to go, artofgranite.net, if you want beautiful countertops and cabinets. And you get really all of the material wholesale, not the cabinets, but all the stone, because they're direct stone importers. They do a small markup on the cabinets, but the good part, because they don't charge, above wholesale for the granite, and because they don't charge for tear out and haul away, and because they don't charge for the bathroom when you have the kitchen done, they can give you a price on the phone. You just tell them what you want, the square footage, they can give you a price. They only charge for fabrication and installation, and they do a beautiful job. artofgranite.net. Look them up. artofgranite.net. They're located in Golden, their beautiful showroom. Of course, they'll come to you. And they serve the mountain communities. They're open 6 days a week, closed Sundays. artofgranite.net. Call and get your price on the phone, 303-386-5919. Or look for Art of Granite on my referral list, referralist.com. Brenda had a nightmare at O'Mara, and we'll find out why. We don't get a lot of complaints about him. But first, really quickly, Brian, you have a question for Mark Trenner. I want to at least get him thinking about it, unless he can answer it immediately. What is it?
I have I'm a public sector worker
yes.
with a government agency. I've been asked to create training for other members of the agency. At what point does my employer own that property, my intellectual property?
Ooh, great idea. When you're an employee and you create stuff, does it have to be spelled out? Do you automatically own it? If it's not, what about it, Mark?
Yeah, the employer's generally going to own that as long as that's what you were hired to do. Now, if
but what if he was hired as a maintenance worker, and then they said, you do such a great job, develop a manual?
Yeah, so it depends on what you were hired for. If you're a receptionist, for example, in an engineering firm, and you come up with a product without obviously taking their trade secrets, but you've just come up with this on your own, they're not going to...
Okay, so what do you do? Let's talk about you specifically. What do you do?
Police officer.
Okay, and they want you to do what?
Create training programs for other police officers.
Doing what? Doing something specific?
Usually, yes, something specific.
And it does involve video?
Not usually.
And does it involve a technique you developed?
A technique I've not perfected but am proficient at.
No, not proficient at. Not that one that already exists and you're simply showing how to do it. Is it anything intellectually exclusive to you that you developed?
Some.
Okay.
I wouldn't say.
Now, what about that? Would he own it or would they own it?
Yeah, so generally they're going to own it.
Why?
Because they're paying him as an employee to produce this. I mean, it doesn't sound like he went off on his own and came up with something new.
I see.
They're going forward. They're saying we want you to create training manuals or
could he
videos
say?
Or whatever.
Could he say? By the way, I'd like to own the intellectual rights for other.
Yeah, you can obviously negotiate. Yeah, you can.
So,
but you would want to negotiate,
Brian,
get that in writing.
It sounds like you're going to default to them owning it because it is in your area of what you're actually doing, and they specifically asked you to come up with it. So they are, in fact, paying you to come up with it. So you would have to negotiate with them. If you have a specific question after that, we'll come back to you, but I want to get Brenda. She said she had a nightmare buying a car. Brenda, was it new or used?
Brand new, 2018.
Now, I'm just going to do some preliminary, then let you tell your story. Now, are you complaining about the car, the product, or are you complaining about the process?
I'm complaining about the process.
Tell me about it. What happened?
Well, we went in to buy this, Ford truck. My husband really likes it. And there was an issue with one of the employees while we were in the finance area wrapping up paperwork.
What was the issue?
She allowed our 15-year-old son to smoke off her vape cigarette. Not exactly sure what was in there.
Now, wait a minute.
A minimal part.
This woman had a vape cigarette and said, hey, do you want to try it? Or did he say, what is that? And she goes, here, try it.
She admitted to offering it to him.
Does he look 15?
Yeah.
How old is she? How old is she?
She's 18.
Okay, Suzanne, if she's 18 and this kid looks 18, I mean, it could happen. That's why I was asking. Why'd you say Tom?
I wouldn't appreciate at a place of business somebody offering my kid a vape.
First, I wouldn't appreciate the employee even using a vape while they're working. Yeah. Second, I wouldn't want them offering it to anyone.
Right.
Anyone.
But
I mean, I think.
Especially our kids.
Yeah, but if, like, for example, I was there and said, hey, what is that? And they said, here, you want to try it? It's a little different, even though I think that's off base. It's a little different. So if this kid looks a little mature, it's not as bad as if he looks like a kid. But in any case, did your kid say, hey, I took a few hits of that vape?
No, his little brother came in and ratted on him.
And his little brother said, hey, Michael took some hits.
Yes. He said,
and then what did you do?
He said the saleswoman, he comes in and tells me and Dad, hey, Hunter was smoking off, her vape.
Right.
So I stormed out like any mother probably would.
And said, what the hell are you thinking? What the hell are you thinking?
I did.
Yeah, and then what?
I approached her, and she totally owned up to it, said I was right, and apologized, where he was trying to deny it.
What did O'Mara do about it?
Well, so then I complained to the sales manager about what had happened, and my husband and I were giving an apology. What
else should they do? Tell me what they should do that you didn't like. This is a good lesson for all of us. You went and said, look, this person over here offered my kid a hit on her vape, and they said, oh, we're sorry. What else should they have done?
I don't know.
How about candor, ass? How about get rid of it?
No. I just need to know from her. There is no right or wrong answer here.
Wait, Tom, isn't that contributing to a minor?
Well, it depends. I don't know. Was it spinach that she was vaping?
It's spinach flavored.
That's it. We didn't know what was in it. My husband and I had Sunday to discuss it because when we left...
God, I'd be upset. I would be upset. There's no doubt. Well, but Brenda,
absolutely.
I'm asking you.
We left at 1 o'clock.
Brenda, did you buy the truck?
Let's get to that part, Tom, not to just story.
Just yes, no. That first.
We didn't.
Okay. Now, the next question, Brenda, and I really want you to answer this before we go on. What would have made you happy when, obviously, that it never happened, but other than that, what would have made you satisfied with the response? What? Tell me what. Think about it, and we'll come back. I need to know what would have made it's satisfactory. There has to be something. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Aurora Orthodontics and TMJ. Are you looking for a beautiful smile as an adult and you don't want to spend $60,000 on cosmetic dentistry? Listen, one veneer can be $2,200. I know. I just had something break. Let me just say this. If you are looking for beautiful teeth, there is an alternative to veneers and conventional braces for 5 or 6 years. In 2 years, Aurora Orthodontics and TMJ can straighten out your mouth in a perfect way, meaning no extractions, no surgeries. They expand your palate, so it automatically takes care of TMJ and sleep apneas, plus it straightens your teeth. Then they use Invisalign for a short time. The whole thing costs 2 years. This is the best part. Pennies on the dollar compared to regular orthodontics and compared to, of course, cosmetic dentistry. It's a great way to go. The new orthodontics, Aurora Orthodontics and TMJ. Look them up. Dr. Kent Lawson, he invented it. 303-690-0100. 303-690-0100.
Hey, so on that car thing, it's actually a two-part theft. It's kind of a minor thing. So they couldn't qualify for the car, so her dad was gonna come in there and sign for
the new one. This one, or Mara?
Right.
Yeah, but that has nothing to.
Right. So then they had called the next day. They're supposed to deliver it on Monday, and they had called her a couple times. Says, okay, everything looks good. We're gonna deliver it and everything. Then they give her a $6,000 check. And
what do you mean they had given her
for down payment?
Who did?
Brenda.
Who gave Brenda $6,000?
No, Brenda gave O'Mara.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Going down on it.
And what happened?
So they talked to the sales manager, and he says, no, he says, you guys aren't qualifying for this.
So give me my money back.
Okay. So since he said, okay, the check and stuff, I mean, don't cash it then. He says, well, I got it right here. We won't cash it. So they ended up went and cashed it, and they won't return their phone calls saying they're kind of limbo.
Do they have $6,000 of their money right now?
That's what she says.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And they were denied the...
Did they actually sign buying something?
The dad didn't do it because it was going to be...
She spent too much time on this vape shit.
She did some signing stuff. She said she signed. She didn't know what she owed.
And it may or may not be contingent on financing. So we got to take these as two completely separate.
Right, absolutely.
Real quick, Dan, with the Events and Adventure guy, he said he will not agree to that because she would also have to agree to all of her friends taking their reviews down if she put them up too.
Well, that's impossible.
So I just told him I told both of
They
them
work
you
it
would
out.
call them after the show.
We're done. We're done. I mean,
Done with it.
that's unreasonable on his part, actually.
The
That's-
social single club, it's not a dating site.
Right. That's unreasonable on his part to want.
I wonder if it's
Well,
in
the thing about their fake reviews is what she had told them to go put them up.
That's wrong, man.
Of
Did
course
she
it's
admit
wrong.
that?
And she's got a business. That's the thing about she's got a business, a dance business.
Can you, I can't access on this, can you send me a picture of you, either the right or left, either or both? Can you email me it? I just need to send you a picture. No, you have the professional photos of you.
Yeah.
Can you send me the two, left, right?
What does left, right mean, though? I don't know.
You actually have them named left,
Oh,
right.
I'm sorry. Okay.
So she told her friends to go do bad reviews about them. That does make it fucking complicated. Because I guess he's right. Honestly, I'm probably the only one that's thinking like this, but if she told 20 people to go out and write bad reviews,
He should sue her.
I think it's a couple.
He should sue her. That's what he should do. He should sue her.
yeah, but should he give her the refund? I don't know if I would either,
And he's willing
unless
to
those
give-
were brought down.
He's not willing to give her the whole. And he's terrible. He's president. But he's willing to give her stuff back, but not the whole thing back because she started going out with all these reviews and stuff.
Oh, see, that's...
I understand, Tom. I'm just saying that.
Yeah, but I think at the end of that call, he was willing to give it back if she gets rid of the reviews.
Or was he even then not willing to give it all back? That's stupid.
He said he was.
No,
If she
She's
takes
not
all
even
that
asking
down.
for money back. She's asking for... she's only paying $30 a month.
Here's what I tell him.
And she never put the down payment. She owes like a $1,300 plus.
He's not even giving her the refund because she hasn't even paid yet.
Right.
Which is
He's just right.
odd. We should open a dating service for AM radio listeners.
Called Dan's List?
Dan's List. We've only got one bachelor. Dan. That would be funny. Here's what makes our list different. It's the only dating list where there's only one guy.
I am president of Dan's List.
I'm president, CEO, and Dan. That would be great. So they go and they sign up. They give you $19.95, and then it says, "Click here to browse men." There's just you. Oh man, that would be classic. Unlike any other list, there's just one.
Talk to the president. Talk to the
I
CEO.
think that, first of all, our show should only do 30-second lives.
I think that's all. Well, that's all I sell.
No, I mean totally 30 seconds.
I think that's all they sell. Or no, you're right. They probably don't.
Hi, I'm Tom Martino. Tomorrow night at 6 o'clock, a stem cell therapy seminar put on by The Real Deal, Centeno Schultz Clinic. That's tomorrow night. Then they have another one on the 27th at 6. Call for more information. Now, you don't have to go to a seminar, but if you want to just learn and not have any pressure whatsoever, just learn all about it, you should attend one of these seminars. Especially because there are so many fakers out there, mostly chiropractors, who have fluids shipped in and call it living stem cells. CentenoSchultz.com, 303-963-9201. Either call about a seminar or about scheduling an evaluation. And they're MDs, real doctors, registered nurses. If, in fact, you're not a candidate, they'll let you know. And they have other therapies available, too. 303-963-9201. So, we have a lot going on here, and I want to just summarize this. Brenda went to O'Mara Ford to buy a truck with her husband. They were there. And while there, their 15-year-old son was offered a hit on a vape cigarette by an 18-year-old employee. She offered the 15-year-old a vape hit. It was wrong. No one is disputing it. And O'Mara apologized for it, or somebody there. And I know she has a totally separate issue on the purchase, and we'll get into that separately. But first, on the vape situation, I asked, what would have made you happy? What response would have made you happy? Now, obviously, we wish it never happened. But what response would have made you satisfied, Brenda?
I think that action taken immediately.
Like what?
Of
Like
letting
what?
the employee go, firing her for her actions. And I think on our end of it, I think maybe they could have done something better with the numbers to show sincere apology for that taking place.
Yeah, and I think they should have taken action, like you said, and I think it has nothing to do with the purchase of your truck, in my opinion. Nothing at all. I mean, that is a totally separate issue. In fact, on your part, if you were truly outraged, you should have just left and then not want to do business with them if they didn't fire her. So I would say that what difference does it make if they made a good deal? It's like I wouldn't want to do business with you if you didn't get rid of her.
Hey, quick side note on that.
Yes.
The FDA today put e-cigarette makers on notice. Fix the epidemic teen use, or we're pulling all the products from every store.
Because they don't have to be 18 to get those, like cigarettes?
No, they have to be, but it doesn't matter. They advertise grape flavor and bubblegum flavor. They're targeting kids, but technically they're not supposed to. But the FDA did that today.
Now, that's for tobacco, and of course then we have the marijuana thing. And as you know, Frontier Airlines has no problem with letting people smoke marijuana with vape cigarettes. They don't do anything about it. I've witnessed it. Now, you're not technically supposed to have them, but they will do nothing about it. Okay, so Brenda, here's something I want to say. On the truck purchase, Dan told me, just to make things quick, he told me that you put down $6,000, signed some paperwork, you didn't qualify, and they won't give your money back. Is that the story or not?
It's pretty close to the story.
Did you get your money? Did you get your money back?
I haven't even had a phone call back.
And they have, hold on, they have $6,000 of your money.
Mm-hmm. Now, I had called first thing Monday morning. My husband and I had Sunday to talk. We agreed that we were just not okay with what had happened, so I called to talk to the
But Brenda, no, this is really important. I need to know this, because it doesn't matter if you were happy or not. Did you put $6,000 down and not sign a contract, or did you actually buy a vehicle and change your mind?
We put $6,000 down on the vehicle.
Did you buy it?
My father and I were going to be on it. He had to sign the paperwork at 1 o'clock when the truck was delivered on Monday.
And he didn't?
My father never signed the paperwork.
But Brenda, this is a very important question, and I'm not even sure you know, so if you don't, that's fine. You may have, whether your dad had to sign or not for financing, that's one issue, but you may have obligated yourself to buy that truck. Did you sign to buy that truck?
I'm not on the truck, Tom.
Well, they sell it to you or your father now.
So hold on. So no one actually signed anything?
No, they cashed our check.
Okay, you have no contract whatsoever with O'Mara, and they're keeping your $6,000.
Yes, sir.
Okay, she has no contract signed, and they're keeping $6,000. We have to call them right now. I, by the way, don't believe that, but we're going to try and check and see. Stay tuned for that one.
I'll go call
if you're thinking about...
Mark's going to call because
they're willing to take the truck.
Here's what I'm afraid.
It doesn't matter now.
Right.
She says they don't have anything.
I don't know.
Mark, she says they have nothing signed.
No, she told me she signed some paper.
She said no. She said no signed contract.
Well, she didn't know. Well, that's just what she said, and I don't.
But she told you she signed something.
Some stuff.
Oh, great. So she bought it.
Her dad, and they're willing to take it.
I think what happened is she bought it. They couldn't get her qualified. They were going to have the dad come in and co-sign. Dad, for whatever reason, doesn't come in and co-sign.
No, because
she can't qualify, but yet she bought it.
Okay, no, but they
that's
told,
what I'm guessing.
And by the way,
they told her
qualification is not unless
no,
it says,
but America's not going to hold.
I know, but unless it says contingent on qualification, it's not.
But they told her she wasn't going to get it, but then they cashed the check. That's the whole thing, and they won't give her.
They could have said, if she bought it, you're not going to get the loan. That doesn't mean she's out of the contract. Do you see what I'm trying to tell you?
No, but they told her she was
out of the contract.
Yes.
Okay.
And then he says, well, okay, well,
how many times have we heard?
Oh, I agree, Tom. I agree.
How many times have we heard people lie to us?
Well, or they don't understand the whole thing. I agree. But then she said, and he says, okay, well, don't cash the check then. And the guy said, I'd sit and staple right here to the contract. No, we're not going to cash it.
My God.
I told her it sounded like the left hand wasn't talking to the right hand. But they won't return her calls, and that's really the biggest thing. I'll tell you what, this is a big, bad hurricane.
Yeah.
Georgia's governor declaring a state of emergency as well.
When is it supposed to make landfall?
Late Thursday, Friday, I think.
3 feet of rain possible in some areas. In addition,
And then they said it's supposed to hit land, I don't know, and then stall.
Yeah, when induced flooding. Yeah.
They're talking foot and a half of rain there.
Hey, if this comes in at Cat 4, boards don't make any difference. The structures are going to be gone. Now, if it doesn't come right in here and goes to the south, they still get a pretty significant hit. But a lot of people just saying, you know what, I'm leaving. And then, again, there are some people who say they're going to stay. You always get some of those.
Fox Business Network Chef Flock in Atlantic Beach, North Carolina.
How about Hawaii? How's that doing?
Executive order that authorizes
I don't think this should be a hurricane. I think it's just a tropical storm.
Election meddling.
A further effort among several that the administration has made to protect the United States against foreign interference.
Mark, you're a scientist. You got multiple degrees. What's your thinking of global warming being caused by carbon dioxide?
I mean, global warming has been going on since the Ice Age.
Right,
Sure,
that's
sure.
right. I think we have global warming. I don't think we're causing it.
That's
I think there are natural cycles.
Right, but I think there's
there's
some
been a
human
lot of-
intervention that does cause some water.
Well, okay,
But it's not
if
CO2.
you want to get into volumetrics and physics only, just only, and you took every single emission that has ever been expelled by humankind, listen, I just want to tell you, volumetrics only, this has been calculated, and you take every single outgassing and assume that none of it escaped the atmosphere and that all of it was harmful, it would be equivalent to a thimbleful in Mile High Stadium. That is what volumetrics would be of the actual greenhouse gases. It has nothing to do with whether it's poison or not. I'm just telling you, on simple volumetrics, which don't lie, that has been calculated. Now, if you think that could have an effect, it's fucking bullshit.
No. What I'm saying.
Hey, all the Dropbox stuff has been loaded. We're going to do solar. Give me some revitalized telephones when you can.
Got you guys.
Global warming. No, what I'm saying is
Definitely
humans
think we have global warming. I
cutting
just don't
down
think we can
for
trace it.
humans all the blacktop, put in there, has absorbed heat. I'm not saying emissions. I'm not saying emissions.
What do you say?
I'm saying I think
No, heat too, heat generation. If you take all of the emissions, which includes heat, all of them, and put it
it's a thimble.
over. I mean, it's been calculated but here's the thing: not all emissions are even poisonous. But say they are.
Well, CO2 is.
It would literally come to now. I'm not saying it couldn't be harmful. I guess it did contribute. A thimbleful in Mile High Stadium, I guess a thimbleful of air could have some effect.
Right. And
But my God in heaven, is it really that much of an effect?
Well, CO2 in effect is you need it. I mean, whole plants need it.
But I'm not saying, and I'm also not saying, by the way, I'm also not saying we shouldn't be good stewards.
I agree. I should. To conserve.
Of course, we should.
I totally agree with that.
But really, you don't have to scare people into saying, and here's another thing you're a scientist, they say that the melting of ice caps and glaciers create the ocean to rise. Okay. Did you know
That's not true.
that water expands when it freezes, which means the volume of water goes down when it melts.
Even worse, if you put a freaking ice
Did you hear what I just said?
Yeah.
The volume of water actually goes down when the ice cube melts.
I get it, but even so, if you fill a glass up and put an ice cube in there, when it melts, it's basically the same fucking
It is,
thing.
but they're not talking that.
No, Mark, it's actually ice takes up more space.
No, Mark's right though, because that little bit will float on top.
But ice takes up more space.
Right, but the whole thing on that is it's going to be the same, just like an iceberg.
But when it melts, when it melts, the air is gone. The air is gone when it melts.
But there's negligible rise, just like your Coke doesn't overflow all of it.
But they're talking about the stuff on Antarctica and Greenland. That's what they're talking about. The ice masses on land. They're not talking about on the Arctic.
Oh yeah, because on land it would.
Okay, I think right. Then
You're right, but that
would flow into the ocean. Yes. But what are they saying about that? Are the oceans rising?
There is, but it's just like millimeters. It's not very much.
I mean, if we took
there's going to be more rising from the storm.
No, that's not true, man.
Mark,
I was in New Jersey one time, and the ocean was at this level, and 5 hours later, it was this much higher.
Hey, Mark, if we took all of the ice on the Earth and melted it into the ocean, what would happen? Seriously, I don't know.
I'll look it up there. I'm sure people have done that.
I would think someone's got every bit of ice.
Yes.
Well,
and did that.
They're taking it off of the land mass. Yeah.
How about hailstorms? How do you calculate that?
You got me.
What's wrong for you? Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter.
This hour brought to you by Appliance Factory and Mattress Kingdom.
Guess what they're doing?
All right, listen to this.
It's nuts.
They're giving away potentially $1 million worth of appliances and mattresses if Denver shuts out Oakland this Sunday. So, if Denver doesn't let Oakland score Sunday, Appliance Factory and Mattress Kingdom will refund all purchases that were made between tomorrow.
I think it's you can hit referrallist.com, look for appliance, all the details are going to be there.
No, I think today is Tuesday, so it's
Wednesday.
Today. So starting today, anything you buy, any appliance you buy or mattress at Appliance Factory and Mattress Kingdom from today and between Wednesday and Saturday even, right through Saturday.
Yep.
If you buy anything and on Sunday they're shut out, the Oakland is shut out, then guess what happens? It's free. You pay nothing. It's free. Can you believe that?
It's nuts, man.
You get all your money back.
They buy an insurance policy, you realize, because there is a chance this will happen.
Now, Oakland is the 5th most shutout team in football. And here's something else. Even without that, LG refrigerators are like $9.99. Certain ones are on sale right now. And when you buy one of those special LG refrigerators for $9.99, you get a free mattress. 16 stores near you. ApplianceFactory.com.
Listen to this. Last little thing here. Since 2000, there's been 121 shutouts in the NFL.
Okay. Okay, 303-713-TALK. Let's talk to, did we call O'Mara for Brenda? Did we call O'Mara?
I left a message with one of the sales managers.
We're going to take this problem.
I would like you to clarify real quick with her that she signed nothing, because I'm hearing a different story.
Okay. Brenda, did you personally sign anything?
No.
Did your husband personally sign anything?
No.
Okay. They signed nothing, yet somehow O'Mara kept $6,000 of their money.
It's crazy.
This is unheard of. Now, I am going to take this problem off the air. Now, Brian has specific questions for Mark Trenner, Trenner Law. Mark is with us, an IP attorney, intellectual property, inventions, trademarks, copyrights, and all of that, Trenner Law. Now, Brian has a question, and that is, he had one before, and we answered it basically, about if you work somewhere and you develop something and you're paid to do it, that stuff is owned by your employer. It's called work for hire. Now, what is your other specific question?
So the work for hire law says that the hiring contract needs to specifically address the intellectual property ownership. My public sector employment agreement does not specifically address that. And
well, hold on. Brian, I don't know where you're reading from, but I can tell you this because it's come up in my life, and court precedent has shown, I don't know, and I'm not giving you legal advice, but I'm going to tell you, and Mark will verify this or not, there have been court precedents where it was not spelled out, but the guy was working in this department, and their job was to develop something, and guess what happened? He did not own it. Now, Mark, you know more than I. You're an attorney, more than me.
I think probably what you're looking at, Brian, applies to independent contractors, and then it does have to be, I mean, if you specifically commission somebody to do something, then it does have to be in writing that you're going to own the copyright to it. It's like when you hire a photographer, that's an independent contractor type situation. They're not your employee.
And it has to be spelled out.
And it does have to be spelled out, or the photographer will own those.
If it's normal employment...
If you're an employee and it's part of your employment, then the employer automatically owns the rights.
The only reason we're telling you this, Brian, is don't go off half-cocked thinking to own something when you don't, because it's better to get it up front spelled out.
Sure, and then the corollary to that was the employer would own anything I create if they asked me to, but if I created it on my own, does that change the equation?
It may if it's related to your employment. And so if you want to go off and do this on your own and it's related to your employment, it's always best to get their permission in writing so that there is no dispute later. Get their permission that you can do that and that you'd own the IP to it.
Okay, and where can I go to read more reliable information about my rights to intellectual property?
So it kind of depends what you're looking at. I mean, there's different components of intellectual property. If you want to
Don't you have a book?
Well, if you want to learn about copyrights, just go to copyright.gov. That's the Government Copyright Office website, and there's a ton of information on there. I do have some guides on trademarks and on patents. If you're interested in learning about that, you can shoot me an email, and I'll get that information.
And if you go to Mark Trenner, Trenner Law, on our referral list at referralist.com, you can get a hold of him.
Mark, how about like if there was a cook working at a big restaurant, say Applebee's or Red Robin, something like that, and they created a new hamburger and everybody loved it, and it ends up on the menu. Any credit whatsoever? I mean, do they have any rights to it, or because they were working there,
usually don't. If you're an employee, now if you're an independent contractor, it's a different story.
Totally different. Yeah. Okay, 303-713-TALK. Now, Marcus has a question that we have to get to. Go ahead, Marcus. And we have Frank Duran, therealestateman.com, listening because he's a genius in my opinion, and he does real estate buying and selling, of course. Marcus, what's your question?
Hi, Tom.
Hi.
Frank. My wife and I, we own 7 investment properties in the Denver area. They're all single-family homes. I think we want to get out of that business, and we'd like to sell them.
It's a great time to do it.
Yeah, I agree. Sell them more or less all at once and put the money in a REIT or something like that.
When you say all at once, do you mean to one buyer, to several, or it doesn't matter?
Well, that's why I called, is to ideally, we'd like to sell them all at once to one buyer.
Yeah, but you're not going to limit yourself, are you?
Well, I'm not sure. That's what I wanted to ask you.
Why would you? I mean, what possible reason would you have? I'm not saying it's not a good idea if you could find one, but what if you can and you found 7 different buyers, or you found 2 buyers or 3 buyers? What difference would it make to you? Why would you not do that? That's what I'm asking you first.
The advantage of selling them to one buyer is that we could bundle them up and have a single transaction where we're selling. My question for you...
You're talking about convenience, right, Marcus? I'm just trying to discern if there's any other reason other than convenience.
No, that is the reason.
Okay.
And I was wondering if there's a model where we could put these 7 houses into a business and then just sell that business. So
well, of course you can. People do it all the time. LLCs, they do it all the time.
And then put the LLC up for sale.
They do
the LLC has these
all the time. They do it. In fact, they don't just do houses. They do vehicles and machinery, and think of it as inventory in your business. Yeah, I mean, you can package anything you want. I mean, this is just business. Now, Frank, have you ever handled selling multiple properties at one time?
I sure have, Tom. I sure have.
And how have you done it? Have they been in an investment LLC?
These ones, no, this was actually a gentleman doing 1031 exchanges. So we helped him with those. In fact, it was 4 properties we were selling, and he was doing 1031 exchanges.
Now, here's what I think, Frank. I want your opinion. I just think in the world, the way you look at the world, I don't think you will ever realize as much profit with one buyer, no matter what, than you would with 7. It's just a hunch. I don't have any stats on that. Because I see a guy buying 7 thinking, I want a break. I'm giving you a break, you give me a break, as opposed to 7 people competing for houses.
Well, good point, Tom. And Marcus, I'll tell you that the real advantage you have in this market is leverage, because it's supply and demand. There's just not a lot of inventory out there, which means on the open market, if you can have multiple bidders, the price, I mean, the sky is almost the limit to how high some of these bids end up going.
Marcus, Frank Duran handles it all. You don't have to handle anything. You just sign papers. So that's what I don't understand. What difference does it make to you?
It's a good point. I don't know how to reach potential investors.
Well, he does. What price range are you in?
Well, these houses, 5 of them are in Aurora and 2 of them are in West.
What price range?
So that's about $300,000 a house, give or take.
You could possibly be leaving $200,000 on the table.
Okay.
Frank will tell you. Frank, I mean, you've done this, man. You can get bidding wars on every single house.
Oh, Tom, we just took one in Thornton. Now, they say the market's been cooling down. I don't know about that, because I just took one. We priced it at $314,900. The owner wanted $325,000. Well, guess what? We sold it for $345,000, and we got it. And we got the buyer to cover any difference if it did not appraise.
Are you listening to this, Marcus?
I totally am, and I think I get the point. Is that it is bundled as far as we're concerned, because we leave all the work to Frank.
And honest to God, when I say you leave all the work to him, you got a control freak called Mark Major over here. Mark, no. Mark gets involved in everything he does. For God's sakes, if he was having surgery, I think he'd want to be awake so he could tell him what to do. But here's the deal. He hired Frank, and I could tell when I told him to let go, I could tell he didn't really believe me. And Mark, isn't this truly the first time you let go? Truly,
it's hard, yes.
But you did, and you said to me, "My goodness, he doesn't." You said these exact words. He doesn't look like he has it in him. He doesn't. He's a wonderful-looking man, but very humble, very meek. He doesn't. You don't feel like this guy's going to go in and hustle, and he does. I'm telling you, you will be in great hands. We've never had a complaint, ever.
Thanks, Mark.
So anyway, that's it. I mean, that's it, Marcus. I wish I could make it more complicated, but it's not. FrankDuran.realestateman.com. That's how complicated it is. 303-920-1622.
You know, I have a neighbor right now, real quick, trying to sell their house.
By themselves.
You know where I live. These aren't easy to sell properties.
No.
They're trying to sell by themselves. It's getting stale. I couldn't have wrung their neck more, saying, what are you doing? They've got to move. They're going to end up with 2 mortgages. It's just a nightmare.
Yeah,
Don't do it yourself.
I know what people think. I don't want to pay that commission. But you will never make the money that he can. You'll never make it. You just won't make it. Century RV, if you're looking for a deal, you can get new campers for around 10 grand. CenturyRV.com. These people are so cool. They're local, and people come from all over the country to buy from them. They are below wholesale on some of them because they got to get rid of them, and we're talking specifically about Cougars. CenturyRV.com. They're located out west here, just north of 6th Avenue between Kipling and Sims next to Woodley's, and also up north on the 119 turnoff to Longmont and I-25. CenturyRV.com, 303-453-1111.
I look at, they still haven't loaded.
This is the way to do it. Working stuff in like this works. This is, if you can work commercially.
Yeah, but sometimes they don't fall. But yes, of course.
So if all the ice melted in the world, it would raise at 230 feet. That's what they call it.
Wow. 230 feet. Well, we're fine here in Colorado.
No, 230 feet would be massive.
Well,
massive.
Not here in Colorado.
But what would it, how far inland would it come? Way far.
Depends where you're at.
Yeah,
Let's put it,
elevation.
New Orleans would be even further underwater.
New Orleans is actually below sea level.
Correct.
Yeah, that's why they have levee systems.
How did they?
It actually has sunk. Because they built, it was kind of mushy ground anyway, and a lot of it has sunk. It wasn't much, from the beginning, it wasn't much higher than sea level anyway.
So they didn't design it that way with levees and stuff.
Kind of.
It was very
It's
close.
for shipping right
It was
there.
very close, and that's really why, the shipping.
The shipping is
But
fucking nuts.
literally, what is this elevation? What?
It's below now.
Well, what is it?
Hey, Tom, Mark, John Higgins here.
Hey, John, what's up, man?
Great, how are you?
What's up, brother?
How are you?
Did you hear our spot?
I
on
think
way
the
in?
hair and beard work, man. Last time I saw your hair was longer and you had no
last time you
beard.
gave me a hard time
No,
with my hair.
man.
Oh,
I'm serious.
what kind of bike is
You
it?
look good.
This one's
No, over there, right? Over there. Yeah, you got that. Then we don't get any echo in your mic.
Honda VTX 1800, so I got a problem with motorcycles.
Troubleshooter show, please hold.
This is my wife.
John, you know how the mic works, right? You have buttons, headphones to hear the show, and then you'll hit on to talk off when
Can
you're
you
not.
say,
Just speak
I got an
directly
evil
in. I'll
look
get you
from
a
him.
water.
Can you say NFL and
No.
you can't even say NFL?
I can't say
I know,
NFL, I
I
can't
know.
say
I know you can't
Raiders,
say.
but
I
No,
knew
no,
that.
but I know what to do, and you know what to do. So
I
it was
just-
only that one.
I didn't know that part.
the
though.
one thing that I said before, I'm not a huge sports fan, so if you try to dive in and get me to answer why, I'm like, because
I'm not either, but I know enough to do this.
Patriots rock.
We already did.
They
one
made me
spot, so
money
we'll go
selling.
30 more minutes.
Okay.
That's the banner, so when you talk, like say, oh, I'll bring that up, is that all, everything good there?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, so good.
Oh man, how is biz over there? You guys rocking?
Yeah, business continues to go well. And, radio continues to perform
There
well.
aren't a lot of really appliance stores. There really aren't.
No,
Not
mom
really.
and pa's.
No.
Their biggest competitor is going to be, I would guess,
Like
like
Best
what,
Buy.
Best Buy,
Yep.
Home
And then-
Depot.
But
Exactly.
see,
Home
but
Depot,
they're,
Lowe's,
but
Best Buy.
those guys are also appliances, not appliances. When you go in there, their people don't know shit.
No.
No.
Mountain High, though. I mean, they're
Yeah,
not,
that's a
Chuck
good
wouldn't consider them to be a, thank you.
But Mountain
Wouldn't
High's a good
consider them to be, I think they're good. I've gone in there and secret shopped them and took a look at their stuff. They have a nice operation, and I have a client right next door to their new place off of 64.
Jamaica.
How many locations do they got?
4. I think they're trying to get a 5th one.
Hey, that place, I know you guys have had to have looked at it. It's to me, it's the death store. It's one of these places that anybody that goes in there, it ends up closing again. But it's in Park Meadows. It's that massive
The one that
Sears
used
just
to-
closed.
It used to be Sears. What was
It was
called?
Incredible Universe.
No, but after that, what was it called? That Sears
Home
I liked
something.
Outlet, the Sears outlet.
But nothing
Yeah, it was
lasted.
called something weird. I loved it.
Yep.
Did you guys look at that, or is it just outrageously priced?
I don't think that he didn't look at it. Not really.
Oh, it's so giant.
Yeah, it's gigantic, and he has his eyes set on this reverse manifest destiny because now they're out in Ohio, they're in
What is that called?
Cincinnati.
Reverse?
You know, like
By the way, we're
manifest
always
destiny.
on air.
Okay.
Oh no, broadband we are. Yeah.
What is that? What does that mean?
Is that a philosophy? Or
Yeah, it's a philosophy.
Oh.
It's basically a westward expansion and trying to trace your dreams. So it's the reverse of that. He's heading eastbound. So he's gone to Ohio,
Oh, I
Cincinnati. And,
Instead of going west. Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
Go east, young man.
Go east. That's what they actually did.
First they went west. First they went west. Then they went east.
Yeah.
It did go back and forth.
Yeah.
So there.
West was for gold, basically. That's the only reason.
Oh, the gold rush, man.
Yep.
Love gold.
They showed a nugget the other day on the news. 2.6 million. It's the largest gold nugget.
Is that one in the ocean?
Not a player?
I don't know where they found it. It was big and it was ugly and it was solid and it was worth 2.45 million.
You're kidding.
Yeah, one nugget.
Crazy.
You would think it would be like little, but it looked pretty damn big actually.
You got it from Panning?
Yes, it's a big man.
I can't lift this pan.
Colorado Tinnitus and Hearing Center. These people are basically the pioneers in tinnitus treatment. They are on the fore of the new stuff like the Syncra for tinnitus. And then, of course, for hearing loss. I don't want to downplay how wonderful they are, but you have to really see it to experience it. Dr. Patty, Dr. Lisa, Dr. Dagmar. They're on Clarkson and Hamden. Can you picture that? A beautiful office. Now, that's a urgent care on the bottom floor there. Colorado Tinnitus and Hearing Center on the second floor. It's really Clarkson and Hamden, 3601. You can drop in or call them for an appointment. Go to their website, helpforringing.com. Now, it's for hearing loss, tinnitus, or both. And they do free trial periods for all hearing aids. And so you really get to know if you want it with no obligation. 303-534-0163. 303-534-0163. And helpforringing.com. So let's keep going here. And really, we have some problems, okay? And the problems are when we get a caller that we like and we agree with in principle, but the specifics and the details that we uncover are different than what we were told. Such is the problem with Jaleka. Am I saying her name right? I hate to slaughter.
I think so, Tom.
Jaleka, am I saying your name correctly? I don't want to slaughter your name. Is it Jaleka?
Yes.
Okay.
Jaleka.
Now, Jaleka, yesterday what you presented to us, and I'm not saying, by the way, that you lied to us or anything. You didn't. You gave us your perspective, and it was that the Oversight Committee for the Supreme Court, it's not actually the Supreme Court justices. It is under their purview, and it's a committee that oversees attorneys or people practicing law without a license. It's called the Attorney Oversight Committee, and this committee basically let you know that they were investigating you because of a complaint. The complaint came from a law firm. And that's not uncommon for people who do what you do or people who do what I do. And you told me you were mainly a community activist where, for example, you gave a very specific example of where there were some incidents with the police department and you had one of the commanding officers come in to talk to members of the community. And you said this is what the committee told you you cannot do without a law license. And nowhere in any of the paperwork filed ever do they ever mention your work as an advocate. And I'll tell you why. Because it is not practicing law without a license, and they never cited you for that. In the one case where you said there was injunctive relief, where they literally took you to a hearing and you lost, in the one case and the one item they mentioned specifically, it was where you were negotiating and mediating. By the way, this is different than your other mediations. Your other mediations are fine. I mean, in my humble opinion, it's not a legal opinion, but this particular one was where you were mediating a personal injury claim with an insurance company. And Jaleka, whether you like it or not, I agree with the Supreme Court Committee on Oversight. I believe that that was practicing law without a license.
Okay.
So, I mean, I don't think you have a problem. I would let this case go. Let it go. You lost. And I think you lost rightly so. And then keep doing your advocacy work. Just stay away from the legal stuff.
Okay. So, I let you talk. I'm going to accept your opinion, you know, that's your opinion. But in the state of Colorado, again, it says in the Alternative Dispute Resolution Act that any arbitrator, mediator, or someone that is a non-lawyer can dispute and assist with any dispute, and the specific incident that you're looking at in the ruling is a dispute that the person had with the insurance company.
No, it was not. It was a claim. It was not a dispute.
A dispute is a dispute. Whether you
It was a claim. No, there's a difference. There's a difference. A dispute is where they're refusing to pay. This is not a dispute. This is a difference in valuating a claim, and that is practicing law. But Jaleka, you really pinned the tail on the donkey when you said this. You respect my opinion, and I respect yours, but I think you're wrong. You think I'm wrong. So Jaleka, here's the whole point. The whole point is you don't have to convince me. You have to find an attorney to help you convince the committee. And you asked, do we have, the original call was, do we have a reference for an attorney? And after looking at all of this, our answer is no, we don't. Now, I'm not saying, you know, you can't find one. Honest to God, I don't have a reference for you.
Okay.
I mean, and I wish you the best. I think, by the way, from what I've read and searched about you, I love what you do. In fact, we could use you. And I'm serious, by the way. I would love to use you on stuff, but not the legal stuff. You know what I mean? I think you do a great job. You're exactly what we want at the Troubleshooter Network. So you know, listen, as far as this particular case, I just think you're going to lose, and lose again. Mark? Your opinion?
Oh, you know.
It's your personal opinion.
I know. I agree with everything you just said. She was, in my opinion, practicing law without a license.
Which
in that case.
Yeah. So anyway, and that's not a legal opinion, that's our personal opinion, but we read what the Supreme Court Grievance Committee said, and we keep saying, yup, yup, Hey, Carolyn.
They're pretty straight up, too.
Yeah. Carolyn, what's happening?
Yeah. Hi. So last week I called about my transmission.
Yeah, Friday.
So I got
Car day.
Okay. So I took it back to my mechanic.
Now, what was the problem with your transmission? Just recap for those listening and for me.
Okay. So originally I had one problem, and it was that when I would step on the gas, the car would not move, and then it would take some time to start moving.
That's right.
So
and where did you have it to be analyzed?
I took it into Plumbers, which is our regular mechanic, and they don't do transmissions, and so they sent us to Budget Transmission.
To Budget, not Budget A1.
It's a different budget.
Yeah, it's not our budget, so to speak, the one on our referral list. I just make that clear because it's so similar. Okay, and what happened then?
Okay, so I got my new transmission. Now, mind you, I have a 2007 with 150,000 miles.
Yeah.
So I got the new transmission, and while I was getting the transmission, they did some axle work for me, too, while they were in there.
Right.
So that all came back, and then I ended up taking a long road trip, a couple road trips. I went up to Casper, Wyoming, and then back to Denver, then to Omaha, to Cheyenne. And
so what's the problem? What was the problem we left you with? I think we wanted you to get it checked out by one of our experts.
Well, this is what happened.
Isn't that
I started
what we
having
told you to
different
do?
symptoms, and I took it back to him, and he replaced the transmission again under warranty.
Right.
And then after that, it was doing the same problem.
Right. Did you go to our expert? That's what we want to know.
Are we sure it was even the transmission?
Well, this is what we wanted to find out. We wanted to find out, did you get what you paid for? Did they do it right? Is there a problem? So, can we skip to that part? Who did you go to?
So we went to Plumbers, which was our original mechanic. That's what you told us to do.
Right. Okay.
And
all right.
But they didn't do transmissions.
I know.
Right. But now we're having this other symptom where so far we got another new transmission, a transfer case, and a courtesy engine tune-up, because at some point he switched and said, now it's my engine. But I'm having...
So right now, you're exactly where you were on Friday. Exactly. There really is no follow-up other than you took it to your original guy.
Okay, yeah, I took it to my original
And what did
guy.
your original guy say?
My original guy said that there were codes, which the transmission guy said there were no codes
Listen,
that day.
what I asked was one thing and one thing alone.
Okay.
Did the company replace the transmission as they said they did with a rebuilt transmission?
Yeah, I don't have a problem with my transmission. What I have a problem with... So, but the thing is...
What do you have the problem with? Let's go to that then.
I have this problem that keeps continuing. After I got I'm not disputing the first transmission, or the second, really. I didn't have to pay for the second transmission.
What you're saying is maybe they never got to the heart of the problem to begin with.
Exactly. After what I don't know anything about cars, and this is why I'm calling you for your advice to see if I'm on the right track.
All right, go ahead.
I think that there's a good chance that after I got my first transmission, I had a whole separate issue with my engine. But when I took it back to him, he diagnosed it as a transmission issue again. Replaced the transmission. Then that problem didn't get solved.
Well,
So
what I said before, Carol, if you'll remember, we don't know if you ever needed your transmission. However, what we did say was, because there's 150,000 miles on the car, it didn't matter. It didn't do you any harm getting that transmission done. So right now, you just want to know what's wrong with your car. And your mechanic at Plumbers can't tell you. Is that right?
Well, the mechanic at Plumbers put a new engine coil in, and now it's driving fine.
Oh! He found the problem. So, are you upset? Here's what I need to know. Are you upset because you're thinking you spent some extra money with that other shop that could not find the coil?
Right. After the transmission, I had another transmission replaced, and then I had the transfer case replaced.
But
they didn't charge you for any of that, right?
No, they charged for some of it. How much extra, other than the transmission replacement, how much extra did their so-called incompetence cost you?
$1,500.
That was for the transfer thing?
Transfer case.
Okay. She has a good argument. Here's what she's saying. I'm not disputing the transmission, but did I need that extra work because it seems like it was just the coil? That's a good point.
It is a good point, but she has the benefit of a rebuilt transfer case at this point as well, though, with a vehicle with 150,000 miles.
true. Let's ask Carol what she wants, and you have to say it in a sentence, otherwise Bruiser's going to come in here and kick my butt because he wants me to take a break. So the sentence, what do you want? $1,500 back?
Yes.
Okay, you do have the benefit of that transfer case. Are you willing to move on that?
Well, I'd be willing to pay for the transfer case, but not the labor. I think
that's fair. I think that's fair. Who handled
What's
this?
the breakdown?
I don't know.
Tom.
Huh?
I talked to the owner.
Do you want to call budget?
Sure,
Okay.
I will.
I don't know, Suzanne. I don't think that's unfair. If they fixed it, the same problem that these guys diagnosed as the transfer case. Remember, keep the transmission out of it. But the transfer case was another $1,500, and she just went and got a coil.
What did the owner say when you talked to him?
Let's wait. I got to take. Believe me, keep me from getting my butt kicked. I got to take a break. 303-713-TALK. This is a great time to tell you about the real budget A1 transmission on auto repair. These guys are great. And they will do a transmission service. Like, for example, if you had this problem, he would have done a service for $149, and then you would have found out the real condition of your transmission. And if there was a problem and you needed to spend some money, they would have applied the $149 to whatever repair they did. That's just $149 for a complete transmission service. And, of course, if you go in with any other problem, because they do vehicles, just overall vehicles, then you get 1 hour of free diagnostics. That's Budget A1 Transmission Auto Repair, South Santa Fe, just south of Dartmouth. 303-781-9858. 781-9858.
This is Denver's Talk Station, 630 KHOW, an iHeart radio station. With Ross Kaminsky mornings, Michael Brown afternoons, KHOW, Denver. Win your way to our 2018 iHeart Radio Music Festival.
Just stupid. It's stupid.
And it's almost like they designed
They
it.
did it on purpose. They should have landscaping and a tree or something.
$70,000 worth of cement and damn.
So they got a patio on back?
How old? That house looks old anyway. Yeah. What are they asking for that house?
What is it? $870.
Yeah. Well,
It's probably got. It is old. It's probably got. It's got at least 6 acres.
This looks like the 70s.
So
How much
when you talk, whatever, I scan over and back.
Inside's been redone. It's nice.
Okay, so
It's actually really nice. Boy, that's a real picture.
What? Putting the
Furniture like that, it's just fucking weird.
It's a party.
Tom could land his helicopter right there.
Party
Damn
driver.
furniture wasn't there. Dude, you should have seen my neighbors come running when he landed that helicopter in my front fucking yard. I never see my neighbors. I mean, we all live on 6+ acres. I never see them. I see, like, the ones right next to me just because we're friends. But other than that, I never see them. You land a helicopter, people just, like, come. It was like when they built the baseball field. People just started showing up.
Put a helicopter.
Yeah, he came and picked my dad up in his helicopter, fly my dad around.
Flight for life?
Yeah. He picked him up flight for life. Not, yeah.
Oh, okay. So, what do you find 6 acres in Denver Metro?
Franktown.
Oh, okay.
It is Denver Metro, though. It's worth 30 minutes from right here, literally.
You're not even in Franktown Metro.
He's convinced that Franktown is like non-existent.
I'm not, no.
Yes,
I'm
that's
not
basically
convinced.
what you're saying.
Tell me this.
Even though my
Is
address
your
is
sign
Franktown.
He lives outside of the city, but he
Oh
has
my
a
God, are we
Franktown
arguing about
address.
this again?
Is he considered a Franktown resident?
Am I a Franktownian?
Franktonian?
Incorporated. Right, he's in the...
We're Douglas. We're Douglas
We're
County.
unincorporated Douglas.
Right,
Yeah.
right,
Yeah.
right. But he's not in Franktown.
Then where the fuck do we live? Unincorporated Douglas?
we live in
Even though our
Franktown.
address is
What's that?
We're
Franktown.
in Franktown.
You're not in the
He's
city.
saying Franktown is that
You're not
one
in the
little
So we're not in
crossing.
the city
Yeah.
limits of Franktown?
Right.
I don't think there is a
Exactly.
city limit.
Yes, there is. Look it up.
I was the same in Evergreen. I was unincorporated Jeffco, but so then sometimes they would put me in Golden, sometimes they put me in Evergreen.
I
But your
landed
address
a
is
new
Evergreen.
deputy who used to be in law enforcement and listened
You owe me
every
lunch
day.
again. This is like 10 lunches
We're-
you owe me,
I'm looking
Mark?
right now. Look.
What does Jamaica charge for
There it is.
services?
I am in that box.
No, you're
we are
not
right
in that
back
box.
here.
You're
Yes, we are. We're in that box.
Show me where you're at.
Well,
You're not in that box.
I'm-
That's another lunch. This is lunch 11.
I'm close to being in that box.
This is a lunch number 11.
So absurd. It's such the dumbest argument. You know what he does? He takes the weirdest, longest exaggerations that could ever possibly happen and uses them as arguments.
He says he's in Franktown. I know, isn't that amazing? Just because that's lunch 12.
How about that linear thing? I couldn't fucking believe it.
That is not true.
It's crazy.
They don't give you total linear. That's ridiculous.
I kept saying, I said, well, that doesn't tell me
45 by
anything.
1 inch. Bring a pole.
That's what I said. What if you bring a fishing pole?
Bring a fishing
I
pole.
thought you were
That's
saying the
exactly
linear.
right.
It's got to fit under your seat, and it's got to be, what is it, you know,
Well, no.
47 linear inches.
That's different.
No,
If they say it has to fit under your seat.
They didn't say that. My whole point was when they just gave the linear inches, how the hell do you know if it fits under your seat?
Okay, what airlines is it?
United.
They don't give linear. They give dimensions. They give
Well, she was right on with them.
They give you
And
actual
she
dimensions.
literally got
Yeah,
off
but I
and
just
said it
flew
was.
United, and they gave me dimensions on the website. Dimensions.
See what
literally.
they give.
They give dimensions because we.
We
have-
go, how big can the carry?
Stephanie
I
made-
was right there. They
Stephanie
actually
made me
answered
measure.
some amount of linear inches.
Linear.
Linear, I know. I'm gonna fucking. I've said it correctly my whole life. Now I'll never say it right again.
That's so funny. Tom goes, linear.
Oh shit. Oh, here's another. These guys said the fine.
Tom Martino here. Pro Auto Care is your car nanny. You heard me talk about budget, A1. Well, another great shop on our list. I take my car to Pro Auto Care, and they can do all of your normal service, your factory service. They put you in the data bank with your VIN number, so they give you a text whenever anything's happening. You don't have to ever think about your car. Pro Auto Care is your car nanny. And then in between, you get roadside assistance. They have 2 locations near Evans and I-25 and near Bowles and Santa Fe. To find out more, 303-PRO-AUTO is their phone number, and their website is 303proauto.com. I love that free roadside assistance in between. So let's talk what's going on. We got somebody here, by the way, from Appliance Factory Outlet, and also we have and the Mattress Kingdom. They have this special for the weekend we're going to talk about. If you have any questions on it, it is really cool because if you buy appliances from today through Saturday, there's a possibility you'll get a full, complete 100% refund, and we'll give you the details, okay? Mark Trenner, Trenner Law, we got a question about copyright. Is it true that you own it when you create it without registering? Sir.
Yes, it is true. You don't have to register, but registration's only $35, and you get a lot of legal benefits for it.
What benefit do you get from registering copyright?
Number one, you can't sue anybody until you register it.
Ah.
So if you don't have one, you have a copyright, but you can't enforce it until you go register it. So that's a big one. But
you can register, like if they use your copyright, then you can go register and then go after them.
You can, but if you registered before they start infringing, you can get statutory damages, meaning you don't have to prove damage.
Oh.
So there's a lot of good reasons. Just spend that $35 and register it.
Is that the only intellectual property where statutory damages are allowed?
You can probably get statutory damages in other cases, in other IP cases, but that's the big one.
303-713-8255. So this transmission follow-up, did anyone call? Are you calling on that, Suzanne? Are you?
She might be talking to him.
All right. Kim, then we go to Kim. What's going on with you, Kim?
Yes, I purchased a vehicle May of 2018 at AutoNation, and I have brought it into the service department which is the 4th time now, since June 27th.
Now listen, you know that means if you buy a brand new vehicle and they can't fix it after this 4th attempt, you can ask for arbitration under the Lemon Law.
Depending on the problem.
Yeah, if obviously it has to be marketability. What is the problem?
First, they were saying it's some electrical thing because my check engine light repeatedly came on. Now it is in the service department for a brand new transmission.
Wait a minute. If they hear, do you hear what just happened? It was pretty clever. that they switched what it was, meaning that 4 times has to be the same problem. So if
Correct.
they're saying, wait, no, it's not that problem now. That was 2 of the times. Now it's a transmission. They get 2 more times. Do you see what I'm saying?
Is it the same symptoms?
Yes, I never noticed anything wrong with the transmission as I was driving it. The check engine light would always come
Hold on.
Hold on.
One sec.
Sure.
Because I want to go to an owner. I just want to do that because and I'll come right back to you. Whenever an owner of a business comes on, I really want to give them their say since their business was mentioned, and I'll come right back to you. So Gary Eversol's the owner of Budget Transmission, and this is the one where the woman said, I have no issue, I want to make this clear, I have no issue with replacing my transmission at 150,000 miles. And they even replaced it again because I was having problems. No issue. That's not in dispute. However, she went back with some other problems, and she spent another $1,500 with them for a transfer case. And that is where she has an issue, because that $1,500 did not correct the problem, but a lowly engine coil fixed the problem. So naturally, her question was, did I need that transfer case to begin with? And did I spend $1,500 for nothing? And if so, I'm willing to pay for the transfer case, but I don't think I should have to pay for the labor, or they owe me at least something. That's where we stand. Gary, thank you for listening. That's where we stand, sir.
Yes, absolutely, Tom. As you mentioned, the first transmission that we replaced, it was a genuine product.
Yeah, we're not even talking. The transmission's fine, by the way.
Well, the second time it came back with her problems, yeah, each time it came back, there were different symptoms. We could never nail down what she wanted. I went on a couple test drives with her. We went through troubleshooting it with Nissan and everything, because I was thinking the transmission was at fault again. And it turned out it wasn't. We checked the transfer case. It was a little low on fluid. Keep in mind, the transfer case is a sealed unit, even separate from the transmission.
150,000 miles, too.
Yeah, that too. Needless to say, we pulled the check fill plug, magnetic, and it's full of metal, and a chunk of a tooth was sitting on there. I still have the transfer case sitting here in my shop.
Okay.
If anybody wants it, I've offered it to the Earls, to Carolyn and
No,
Shane.
you're saying she needed it. We get it, Gary. We get it. She needed it.
Here's the other catch. I felt so bad because of the inconvenience, the second transmission, or the transmission went out.
Yeah.
I did it at cost.
Okay.
My labor rate is $105 an hour. I split that in half just to pay my employee.
Yep.
I didn't charge her anything, no markup whatsoever. I even gave her the receipt from LKQ.
I get it.
She wanted to go with a used transfer case. She didn't want to do new.
Okay.
I didn't make a penny on that.
Well, here's what I feel. If she needed the transfer case, it's just one of these cases, Gary, where I believe, if that's the truth, and I have no reason to disbelieve you, here's what I'm saying. A car with 150,000 miles just may have had multiple problems. It could have had a bad transmission. It could have had a bad transfer case and a bad engine coil. It could happen.
The transfer case could have been, and I explained this to her and Shane, her husband, this could have been what caused it to go out in the first place. Because it was binding up at around 40 miles an hour. You could feel.
You mean the transmission to go out, right?
Yeah.
Could have.
How did you miss the coil, though? I'm curious on that.
There was no engine codes whatsoever.
Oh, there you go. So it sounds like she had a totally different issue.
I'm going to, listen, I accept your explanation. Carolyn, if he has the old transfer case there, we can have somebody run by, one of our experts, to look at it. But, I mean, if he has it sitting there and there's chunks of metal and a gear tooth, I mean, it seems to me, Carolyn, that if it's possible with 150,000 miles that you needed both transmission and transfer.
I do get that. But when I called Nissan, they said that if they forgot to fill back the fluid up, that would cause that.
So you're saying are you saying they ruined? Why would they have taken? They don't take the transfer. They don't take the fluid out of that anyway.
No.
Well, they told me that they take the transfer case off in order
Yeah,
to...
but it's sealed.
She's grasping at straws,
It's
Tom.
sealed, Carolyn. I mean...
Well, I called Nissan dealership, and that's what they told me.
Gary, let me get this straight. Hold on, Gary. When you replace the transmission, Gary, I guess she can't stop. When you replace the transmission, do you have to drain the transfer case?
No, sir.
Okay.
It is a completely separate sealed unit.
Carolyn, did you hear that when they replace the transmission, they do not drain the transfer case?
Okay.
Check your own sources.
It drained on my driveway right after I got it back.
Grasping.
Okay. What drained on her driveway, Gary?
Tom, I honestly couldn't tell you. I mean, when it came back...
Carolyn, are you saying the transfer case? The transfer case could be leaking, but that doesn't mean they drained it and didn't fill it back up. There's no place to fill it back up. You understand that, Carolyn?
No, I don't understand that. But what I do understand is I came in with a problem. I paid $1,500.
All right. And
150,000 miles.
I hear her. I hear her. She's going to hate me, okay? But here's the bottom line. You got a car with 150,000 miles. And let this be a lesson to all auto shops. You're always going to have problems when you have customers with 150,000 miles or more. And you better make a decision to start putting some very strong disclaimers on your work orders.
Remember that we had that one where he did put everything, the disclaimers in there and stuff, said we told her this, told her this.
Which one, for the house?
No, for a car. This guy, it was like 6 months ago and stuff.
Yeah.
And I remember that. I've never seen
Get
such.
line 6 locked in. Could you put them on hold so I can let them go?
My favorite, though, was that house one. I have never seen a better real estate contract cover someone's ass than that thing.
Not a lot's changed. Not a lot's
buying
changed.
anything.
It actually
It just
said,
looks like you're buying something.
it looks like a house, it feels like a house, you might not be able to use it as a house. Fucking A.
That's what it said.
It was the most incredible thing I've ever seen. And they bought it, and guess what? They don't have the
I
occupancy.
suggest you use it for your used appliances.
Yeah, it's crazy.
You know who they were screwed up here was the guy who did the audit of it, inspection and when he did the as far as the pricing of it.
That's appraisal.
The appraisal. That's what really screwed up. The appraisal.
Everybody.
The first thing they should do is go see the certificate.
Everybody screwed them. But signing that was dumb.
Well, yeah.
It's dumb.
But But you didn't look at your house.
Was it on a mining claim? Yeah, but the issue is not the CO, Dan. That's not the issue. The issue's not the CO.
Well, it is because they won't give a CO until they fix these things.
But that's not the issue. The issue is not the CO. The issue is what's wrong with the house.
Right.
I mean, because you can have a home that's perfect without a CO and live in it your whole life.
I still don't have a CO on my RV.
And you can sell it.
The big thing there is, if they can sell it, but if someone pulls it and says, look at this,
And that never happens. I tell you, I've built houses, and COs were my last concern.
But they cannot get a permit to build anything else in the county because of that.
Well, okay. Actually, I'm going to dispute that because I did.
Oh, well, see, that's the county told them anyway.
Okay, that's a different county.
Okay.
But I will tell you that as long as you have a final inspection, they don't really. The CO is a technicality.
In commercial, it's big.
Who's final inspection?
The county.
Oh, see, they never.
They don't give you. First of all, a final inspection is different than a CO. You get a final inspection, and a CO comes later.
Yeah.
Right. What I'm saying is they never signed off on the stuff that they built in there. The county did not.
Okay.
And that's why they did not give them the CO.
They got screwed. There's no doubt about it.
But what I'm saying is, no matter how the CO did not come about, that lenders don't check COs, buyers don't check COs, building departments.
Yeah, I've never checked. Well, only on commercial.
Building departments don't check COs. They weren't checking a CO. What they were checking were any permits ever pulled on this house, and they probably thought, shit, there were no permits pulled on this house ever. And then they looked and said, hey, it doesn't even have a CO. Because had they not done any home improvements, they would have never known.
Well, see, they built the house.
This lady that tried to help the Sam's Club employee, Castle Rock Sam's Club.
How did they find out there was no CO?
You know?
How did the buyer?
Social Security and needs to fix his car and he can't afford it.
How did he work at Sam's?
In Castle Rock.
How did they buy it?
How did the buyer?
It's that greeter I like.
They actually bought it from, they had a realtor out here, they were out east. They bought it through the realtor. And then they had a home inspection, but the home inspector, these people to CO, without the CO. The home inspector missed these different things like the height of the going in the...
There's no home inspector in the world that would ever know to even look for that, though.
No, they didn't look for CO. They didn't catch the things.
No, I'm saying little shit like that. Okay. Like, hey, the deck should be this far off the ground. I mean, I just don't think so. Plus, it was up in the mountains all by itself. It wasn't like in a neighborhood.
That's right. That's true.
Whatever happened with that? Did they do a bankruptcy? Wasn't there a bankruptcy involved in that too, just to throw another fucking issue in it?
That's the one, but the bankruptcy, they when they had transferred it to
their transferred it in and out
to their kids and then out, but it was 7 years ago or 8 years ago.
God, remember that? That was that same one.
That was the people in Texas.
Yeah, that was crooked. But see, okay,
maybe crooked.
How did the new owners find out there was no CO?
They went to do something
they were
on the deck.
They were going to add a bedroom. In order to do that, the county says no way.
You got to reframe the whole house.
You don't even have a CO on this.
Yeah, but the reason because
if they didn't ask, they would have.
They don't normally look for a CO when you're pulling a building permit. It was because there were some other improvements.
I'll tell you this, they better disclose it if they are.
Blowing up my phone. You don't want to come.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK. IconEyeCare.com. If you remember that, you'll have great vision because you can do LASIK there. Now, I always talk about the other stuff they do and what I had done, the clear lens replacement, but they also do LASIK. In fact, they are... Icon Eye Care is the official hometown team for the Denver Broncos when it comes to LASIK. That's right. And they are an official partner of the Denver Broncos to bring you excellence in eye care. Icon Eye Care. 20 years and thousands of procedures done. Seeing is believing. Now you can get your LASIK done, very low prices, toss your glasses and contacts. And here's the number, 866-GOT-ICON. 866-GOT-ICON. Or IconEyeCare.com. Welcome to the show. I'm Tom Martino, and we're talking about your problems, questions, and complaints. Let's go to the phones and see what we can do for you.
Lemon Law.
Which one is that?
I don't remember. We started, and then we had to put them on hold.
We started with Kim. She said she had a problem, a 2018, I'm surprised, a brand new vehicle. She's having so much trouble. Kim, what dealer are you dealing with?
AutoNation.
And which one?
Arapahoe Jeep.
Okay, and what is the problem? Is it a problem with them, with the service shop? With what? What is the main problem?
Sounds like the manufacturer is the issue.
Yeah, that's what I want to know. Is it anything that they're doing, or is it just a problem inherent with the vehicle?
I believe it's just with the vehicle. It's just a little frustrating having a new vehicle that has been in the hands of the service department.
Okay, what do they say is wrong with it?
They believed when I first took it in, they did diagnostic, and they said the codes had cleared, and they couldn't figure out what the problem was.
But what are the symptoms?
The symptoms are the check engine light would come on every time I would drive.
I'm talking about the driving symptoms.
That's it. That's all that was happening, was the light was coming on, right?
Is it just the light?
It was just the light.
But nothing, you can't tell anything is wrong with that car.
That's going to be a hard lemon law.
I don't think it's going to be covered by the lemon law at all. It is, in my opinion, it's not going to be covered unless you couldn't get an emissions because of it. But hold on, I'm Tom Martino. We'll come back to this and more. 303-713-TALK. Can you believe Labor Day has come and gone? And before you know it, the year's gone. Hey, don't let another year go by without facing your tax problems head on. Whether back taxes or an IRS letter, levy, or audit, there is...
How many people, because of anger, It's done, man. They're done. They're done with the company. Forget anything. They're just done. This is fucking crazy. Today I had more spots than.
No, not as bad as
7, 8.
Imagine if they had a scam consumers clearinghouse.
Who was it? Was it Ed McMahon?
Ed is dead.
You know he
got the biggest mold.
The biggest?
Well, no, he was the first one to ever bring it to court.
It was like 10 million plus, but more ironically,
He actually didn't get
he
all that.
died with nothing.
No, but he didn't get 10 million from the whole case.
Someone bailed him out towards the end, like so he could keep his house.
Yeah, somebody that very,
Wasn't Trump?
very unlikely. Very,
Wasn't Trump?
God, that would be crazy.
I thought you guys had said that. I thought.
Jeez, it could be.
Mark, what photos do you need? Me at the microphone or the ones with the lights?
No, you're wearing your light suit left and right.
Gotcha.
But Suzanne
Who
was
bailed
right.
out?
United Airlines does say 45 linear inches.
Isn't that fucking weird?
That is the stupidest thing. I would hold.
But after that, it gives the inches, the dimensions.
No. What it says is it's also got to fit in the overhead bin or underneath the seat.
It's crazy.
That's what it says. 45 linear inches.
Okay, bailed out Donald Trump bailed out Ed McMahon. Can you believe that shit? God.
It's 4 lunches since I got in here.
I know.
I'll tell you where he can do something. This will blow your mind.
You always put me on the spot on
The
these.
shoes. Some you can't. Nope, he can do those. He can tell you.
Oh,
when you got
stop!
All right, where'd I get them?
Bet on lunch.
No, I can't believe
Got
these
your shoes.
Those are tough.
I think you're going to be wrong.
You got your shoes on your feet.
Oh, you know lunch! Lunch!
I apologize for that.
And that's copyrighted, Mark. Don't
take the lunch.
Don't take the lunch. We use that in the bar.
I still
Hey, can you copyright a joke?
Yes.
We've got to get this shoe one.
We've got to get the shoe.
We've been using it longer than anybody. It all started, I was in New Orleans years ago.
But can you, hold on.
I'm copyrighting that story.
Copyright a joke, right? Mark?
I'm not sure if you can do an individual joke. You can copyright a book.
Like, why did the chicken cross the basketball court? Because he heard the ref was blowing fouls. That one's great at kids' birthdays. Because they're not quite sure what you mean, but they laugh because they think it's funny, but they don't understand the reference to giving a chicken head. It's stupid.
I was in New Orleans like 20 years ago and a kid pulled that on me. I just walked away. They're still doing it. And this other guy
Do you
was
want
going
smile, serious?
I said, hey, this happened to me.
Do you want like smile?
Oh, that one looks good.
They're still using it in New Orleans.
Now, should I crop it? Where does it use?
No, I'm going to let. It's going to an endorsement client who wants a good picture of you, then he's going to create something.
It's a good one.
And obviously, it's going to be large so they can crop it.
Yes.
Remember the bar? We got a free drink, but they actually gave a drink. We used it for a bar meeting.
It is true, though. I mean, I'll tell you what I've done, and I've won drinks in a bar. Back when I shot pool a lot, you lay your pool cue over the table. Okay, and the ball cannot roll under it. There's not enough room to roll under it.
Yep.
So you demonstrate the ball cannot roll under it going the entire night. Then you back up and you basically do your thing. Okay, I'll bet you drink, I can roll it under there. Of course, they're looking at it. And you set it up on those middle pockets, so it kind of gives them an idea like you're going to somehow bounce it out of a pocket, something stupid.
Yeah.
But then you turn around and roll it right under the entire table, and of course it goes under the stick.
I want to hear that when I'm listening, because I wasn't listening, but it sounds cool.
It's worse than the shoe joke.
No way, man.
You won't be.
You are so immature.
Tom hates us on that shoe joke.
That shoe joke. The other one I came up with that he loves is on Car Friday, sometimes we'll have a loose nut behind the wheel.
Talk about a childish.
What is that? The loose nut behind the wheel.
First time you did
When I said that, you were on the floor. You were literally on the floor laughing.
You see, he told us to call it. He was very serious. I think the problem is a loose nut behind the wheel.
Help me if you can, I'm feeling down, and I do appreciate you being around.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. Welcome to the show, the only show of its kind anywhere in the universe. This hour brought to you by Fix It 24/7. You can get an expert to your home for $39. $39 to find any problem, no matter where it is and how long it takes: plumbing, heating, cooling, electric, and drains. And then if you decide to have the work done, they credit you not just the $39. You get credited a total of $77, and you'll never get more work done for the same value ever. These guys are great guys with plumbing, heating, cooling, electric, and drains. $39, and if you just want to shop and take your time and not get the work done, all you pay is $39. Fix It 24/7, fixmyhome.com, or 720-526-3939. 720-526-3939.
How'd you like this morning owning a Chinese car company for 65 minutes? Was it not the best 65 minutes of the day?
It was good. It was good because the Chinese car company came out with this thing, and then this IPO, and then Mark sold it right away because he helps me out, and it made some money in just 56 minutes or however long it was. Hey, listen. You want to really make some money? We got John Higgins with us. He's with Appliance Factory Outlet. Is Mattress Kingdom owned by you guys too? Is it two separate companies owned by the same guy? How does that work?
Yeah, it's a store within a store model, so it's Appliance Factory and
right.
Mattress Kingdom.
Okay. Now, have you done this in the past?
Oh yeah, about 17 years now.
Okay. Now, have you ever had to pay?
No, but we're hoping this is the year.
Okay. Now listen. It's real though. They will pay because they buy insurance for this. Here's what it is. If you buy appliances today through Saturday, if you buy anything or mattresses, here's the great part. And Oakland is shut out by Denver. That means they don't allow them to score a penny. Okay, no score. Then you get a full refund for anything you spent on mattresses and appliances. Is that right?
There are some specifications in there. So it's starting price of $479 up to $3,000. So
okay,
anything
well that's
within
fine.
that range.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, so if you buy a little cheapy thing, not. But that's okay. So there are, and they can find out about that on your website.
That's correct.
Okay, and the website?
ApplianceFactory.com. There's a banner right there. They can
ApplianceFactory.com. So remember, you just buy it. So if you need them anyway...
Plus you're getting the best price out there anyhow.
Exactly. So if you need them anyway, just buy them, and you may get a refund if they shut out this weekend.
I've got to twist his arm on something, though, because I am curious what a policy like that covers. What's the maximum payout that insurance company? $1 million, $2 million? What is it? Unlimited, an umbrella? What is it?
No, there's definitely a cap on that. So I believe we're still settling up because you have until Saturday night to be able to clarify what you're actually going to cover. Right now we have it set at $750,000, and we're self-insuring for the other $250,000.
Wow.
Now, I actually think we usually do this down to the wire, and then we throw down the extra $5,000.
Just in case.
Now, here's the deal, okay? They have 16 stores. Go to Appliance Factory and check them out. And then even without this deal, without getting a refund, LG refrigerators, some of them you're getting $999. Listen to that, plus a free rep mattress. So check them out at ApplianceFactory.com. Let's go to the phones. We got Mark Trenner with us, Trenner Law. We've had several questions on intellectual property, and again, we have Dave here. And Dave, I say again, I mean this is an issue with basically insurance. Geico, what's the problem, Dave?
Hi, Don. My daughter was in an accident back in March, and her and the other driver, they're both cited for not obeying the traffic signal.
Uh-huh.
The other driver made a left turn in front of my daughter, and my car was totaled.
Who was cited? You guys were...
Both drivers were.
But I don't even understand that. You said they made the left turn in front of you.
Right. So what they What they said, I wasn't there, but what they said was they both left on the yellow light.
I see.
And since they didn't clear the intersection before it turned red, that they both were at fault.
All right, so because of that, the other party has what insurance?
The other party has USAA.
And USAA is probably going to say, we're not paying all of the damages, if any. They're going to say, you pay yours, we pay ours.
Correct.
Yeah,
So,
that's called comparative negligence. So what's the problem? Because that's very common, and especially if both of you were cited, it might be comparative negligence.
So my insurance, Geico, they said after their investigation that they found my daughter to be at zero liability, that it was all on the other driver.
Well, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You have coverage. Do you have collision coverage?
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't matter. I mean, they still have to cover you if you put in a claim. It doesn't matter whose fault it is.
So they did. And I said, I filed a claim with Geico. They took care of everything pending the investigation. Since Geico and USAA had a disagreement, they went to arbitration.
Good.
The arbitration came out and sided with USAA and said 50-50 liability.
Okay.
So there's where the problem comes in.
Well, what difference does this make for you? That's why you have collision coverage. It doesn't matter whose fault it is.
Right. So my mother was injured in the accident.
Uh-huh.
And
again, medical payments, which is mandatory on every policy unless you specifically exclude it, that covers no matter whose fault either.
Correct. Which I had.
Okay.
I did exclude it.
What? Do you know what it cost?
Well,
it cost about $50 a year or something.
It was a bad decision.
Oh my God.
But anyway, so what Geico's saying is, since it was 50-50 liability, and you can't recover damages from the other party.
No, you can't. That's wrong. You can't recover damages from the other party's insurance. Keep going.
Okay. They said, so because of that, I don't get my deductible back, which is fine.
Well, of course. Of course. So far, so good.
Okay. Then they said they do not change their findings because of arbitration, so they still find the other driver at 100% fault.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay. So then it comes to the bodily injury for my mother's injuries, and they said since they stand by their finding of the other person's at fault.
They want the other party to pay.
Well, and the other party said they'll pay 50%, but Geico should pay 50% because
of the arbitration. Right.
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 And Geico is disagreeing with that. They said because of the 50-50, I don't get my deductible, but because they found 0% liability, that it's not at fault, so they don't have to pay liability. Which to me,
they don't have to pay. You mean to your mother?
To my mother.
Okay, now listen. Do you have what's called underinsured or uninsured?
Ooh, I'm not positive.
Okay, there are all kinds of places you can collect, but Geico is in my opinion, if they already went to arbitration, I don't understand how they are arbitrarily turning down arbitration.
Neither do I.
Okay, so they lost their ability. I would sue them for bad faith. I would get an attorney, and I would sue them, literally sue them for bad faith. And I think you're going to win, and you're going to get tremendous damages. But you got to get an aggressive attorney, because I believe that they are exercising bad faith.
You know who'd be good?
Bendinelli.
You got it.
Marco Bendinelli would eat them up.
Okay.
Now, or you could go after the other driver directly and sue them. You see, they're not allowed to bring in all this other stuff because it's a whole separate case. If you are claiming they are 100% at fault, see, it doesn't matter what the insurance companies have decided. It doesn't matter. It doesn't even matter what the police decide. When you go to court on a liability issue and you sue, it's all on the table. You bring up whatever evidence you want, witnesses or whatever. It's a lawsuit. You know, I am shocked that Geico is turning this down.
Unless if he has, like, literally no coverage.
But when you say bodily, it's liability. But I don't understand. You don't have medical payments, so what exactly are you trying to collect under your liability? I'm hazy on that. What exactly?
The bodily injury.
But what do you mean bodily injury? Because you just said you don't have med pay.
So there's...
Are you talking about pain and suffering?
No, I'm not. I'm talking about, so there's the medical payment, which they automatically put on at $5,000, which I now understand covers anyone.
Yeah, you didn't have that, so keep going.
And you can increase it, by the way. It's automatically at 5 unless you turn it down, and you can increase it. You don't have that. But what exactly are you saying bodily injury is supposed to cover? And if it's supposed to cover, then why medical payments?
So the bodily injury, there's like
if you injured the other party.
So yeah, they said when bodily injury is when you are found at fault.
That's right. When you're found at fault and you have to cover the other party.
So if she was found at 50% liability through arbitration,
then they should pay 50% of bodily injury.
Right. And they're refusing that.
I know. And that's the bad faith. We come right back to bad faith.
Okay.
I mean, we're doing circles. And I believe that you're right. I believe, not that it matters, I believe you're right. I think you're getting screwed here. Now, we could get a professional opinion here from Compass Insurance.
I would like to. My interest is tweaked on this. There's something,
all right, hold
something
on.
strange.
Let's get Compass Insurance and see if we can get more clarification. Suzanne, I'm not sure where we left it with Kim, but basically it's an engine light, and they can't figure it out.
Oh, am I supposed to put it with AutoNation?
Well, here's the deal. I don't know what else to do. I mean, she
should bring it to a different place.
I guess.
She has a 2018. They can't find the problem for the engine light, but the engine is, it drives perfectly. I personally don't believe she has a lemon law claim. It drives perfectly.
No, but she might be under the impression she has to bring it to where she bought it. She can bring it to any dealer.
Now, Kim, that is a good point. You need to take it somewhere else. They obviously can't find the problem. You can take it to any Jeep dealer there is.
Okay.
Under warranty. And maybe a fresh set of eyes will find out why your check engine light is on. And that's what I would do first. Then you call us back. I mean, I think that there's got to be someone who can figure this out. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Simply Floors, Inc. will simply save you money when it comes to floor coverings. Hey, we talked about the fantastic deals at Appliance Factory Outlet. Now you want to talk about floor coverings? Simply Floors, Inc. Our whole message on this show is saving money, but getting excellent service. And that's what you get with Buddy Mitchell at Simply Floors, Inc. All of the popular floor coverings, like the big boxes, but cheaper than even them. That's right, because he gives personalized service and he makes less profit. SimplyFloorsInc.com. And another saving money tip, solar. You can buy a solar system. Go camsolar.com/troubleshooter. Find out what your lot will produce. If you do decide to buy a system, there's no out-of-pocket money at all. All tax incentives pay for down payments, and low monthly payments get you to own the system with immediate savings on day one. Go camsolar.com/troubleshooter.
This report is brought to you by Fire.
All right, well, thank you, gentlemen.
Thank
you.
you.
Out of here?
Oh, that was quick.
Yeah, unless you need me more.
Nope.
All right, take care.
No, but you know what? When we do these, though, you are welcome to come in, and then I saw you once in a while nodding your head or doing this to chime in. If you became semi-regular when you do these as an expert, like he does and like other people do, they get to know more than just the name of the store. They put a voice with it, and it becomes top of memory, top of recall. It's a cool marketing technique.
We'll make you into the next Shagman.
Hey, do you guys do appliance repair? Anything like that?
There's a division of the company that does that, but typically it's the stuff within our own walls.
You guys don't push. If they didn't buy it from you, you don't want them.
They still can. Yeah.
But it's not a big part?
It's not a big part. So you guys still buys from Lowe's, Home Depot, Sears, Best Buy, whatever, and they can't fulfill, then because we're certified, they'll just kick it over to us. So we have to uphold the portion of their business.
Are you guys still doing the really
High end?
The high-end stuff?
Absolutely.
So what are those, real quick? Some of the big
Thermador, Genair, Miele, Decor.
Okay.
Those are the ones that are... Miele's new. They just came on board with us.
Where would people see that stuff? Because they're not in all the stores, are they?
No, that's Contract Appliance. Parker's going to be one.
And you own that.
Doing that, yep. So it used to be contract. Now
are
it's
you better
Factory
pricing
Fine
than
Lines.
almost everybody in the high-end?
Appliance Factory Fine Lines.
Appliance Factory Fine Lines. So it's unilateral pricing. The only way you're going to get a better deal is if you have a builder. Now the truth is if you go in and say, I've got a builder, or can you help me find a builder, they're going to help you find a builder and be able to get you a better quote. I have sent over a lot of realtors because I have a lot of friends in that space, and they've gone in with my friends and family discount, and they drop a realtor's name when they get in there, and they have to buy, I think you have to buy a built-in French door refrigerator in order to, or built-in refrigerator of any sort, and then you qualify for builder pricing.
We shopped you guys on one. You guys wouldn't bring in what we wanted. It was called Bertazzoni. We ended up getting it through, who's the one that bought the old Red and Jerry's? It's off Santa Fe. It's massive.
Yeah, BAC.
BAC.
Yep. Yeah, they have a lot. I mean, in that high-end space, they've roadblocked us.
Oh,
so we
yeah.
can't get Wolf, can't get Sub-Zero. Even Miele here in Denver, they don't want to unveil their full lineup. So all of our other locations in Terre Haute, Indiana, and Cincinnati and Columbus, they're willing to play.
How do they cockblock you like that?
Because
they buy more.
Simple as that.
No. Well, it has to do with that, but it's really they've established the relationships and they don't want to forego that money. So despite the fact that we could...
And they're going to say, hey, if you let them do it, we're not going to...
Exactly.
I like the idea you can buy the cheapest or the nicest stuff from it.
Thanks again.
Thank you, man.
If you want BioT pellet therapy, it's the most natural therapy you can get. I'm going to get Mark to do this with Revitalized Health and Suzanne. They put a pellet in the fatty part of your buttocks or hip, and I swear to God, it's exactly like your glands secreting this over a period of time. It lasts 4 to 6 months. It's wonderful. It's a great way to deliver testosterone, estrogen, and then, of course, they treat your hormone, your thyroid as well. And it's Revitalized Health. 3 brothers got together and opened this place. They do a great job. They also offer Botox and collagen and Juvederm, Kybella, anything that combats age, including, of course, BioT. And they do instant blood tests there. 720-361-2302. 720-361-2302. Hormone Bros, I call them. HormoneBros.com. I love that website, Hormone Bros.
You know, that instant blood test when we were down there is crazy.
It's cool.
They had my results back in, what was it, 10 minutes.
Right. HormoneBros.com, Revitalized Health. HormoneBros.com. Okay, let's keep going here. We have Compass Insurance Group. Jeremy, we got a really weird insurance issue here, okay?
Okay.
So just listen to this one, okay? They get in an accident, and Geico and USAA are the 2 insurance companies, one on each side, and they decide in arbitration it's 50-50 liability.
Okay.
Because somebody made a turn in an intersection, the other one didn't yield, blah, blah, blah. All right, so USAA says you got to pay 50%, we'll pay 50%. Geico says we don't agree. We just don't agree. We don't agree, even after arbitration. So as a result, Dave, who did not buy MedPay, I know it's his mistake, he didn't buy MedPay, he wants to know if they're 50% liable. USAA has offered to pay 50% of his mother, she's a passenger, of the mother's bills under bodily injury. Not MedPay, but bodily injury. And naturally, he thinks Geico should pay 50% of the bodily injury since it's 50-50. What do you think?
So where it probably comes down to is the mom, do they live together? No. They don't. Okay.
What difference does that make? If I have a passenger in my car, are they covered by my bodily injury?
It depends on if they're a family member or not, and since it's his mom, then it kind of depends on if they
Well,
live
why?
together.
Why does it matter if it's a family member? Just help me.
Bodily injury is a liability coverage.
For third parties.
So, right. So if I'm driving and we get hurt and my wife gets hurt, that's not going to apply, or my kids, that's not what that coverage is for.
But if it was a neighbor, it would be.
If it was a neighbor, and that's
But
where
that's not why they're turning it down. They're turning it down. Geico is saying she was in our car Yes. We insure that car. Yes. But we were not at fault. They were. Even though it's 50-50 according to arbitration.
Right. The arbitration at that point sets the legal standard of liability. It's not debatable after that point.
Then Geico, I think, is showing bad faith.
Yeah, it sounds like it in that sense. If the mom's not a household member, so they're not declining it based on that. There is a liability, and the driver's 50% at fault. USAA is covering that 50%.
Why would a company that big, though, if they know the rules, why would they simply say this? There's got to be more to it.
Well, I mean, remember, Geico doesn't have any contractual obligation with the mom. So, in a true technical sense,
it's not bad. It's not bad faith. You're right. It's not bad faith because they're not screwing their insured.
Yeah, it's not. It's definitely not bad faith.
Oh, you're right.
It's not necessarily what you want to see, but in a technical sense, what contractually holds him liable.
So what does he do? Is it done and over? I get it now. What does he do? Does he have anything else he can do?
The mom would have to sue the son, as ridiculous as that sounds, win that judgment, and that is what's contractually going to force Geico to pay that lawsuit.
Okay. Man, this is too bad, but it's too bad, man, that you got to... I would still have an attorney write to them. I would. Compass Insurance, thank you, 303-996-9000.
Well, that's what he just said, though. If she needs to sue him, gets the judgment, then they have to pay.
Or that could be bad faith at that point. Okay, now, I want to ask an intellectual property question, but it also brings up one of my sponsors, Crackerjack Mudjacking. By the way, they do mudjacking, which is concrete jacking into voids underneath concrete to lift concrete. The short message is if you have sinking concrete, they can lift it up, and they can repair the cracks because of it, because the halves come back together, and it's way cheaper than replacing. CrackerjackMudjacking.com. So let's say somebody advertises, we do a Crackerjack job, okay? And now somebody clicks on that. And the search results, let's say somebody Googles or Bings or Yahoo's Crackerjack, because they heard it on the show, crackerjackmudjacking.com. All right. And these guys are great. They have like 60,000 jobs out there. So somebody Googles Crackerjack, and in the search results, it says, we do a Crackerjack job. Or it actually says Crackerjack Mudjacking. It actually says that. Don't pick just anyone. And somebody clicks on that. It actually highlights, it reads that, and they go to another website for another mudjacker. Let's say that happened.
And let's say they had that trademark, Crackerjack.
Yeah. Now, it goes to another website, not crackerjackmudjacking.com, but another website. Would that be any violation of a trademark?
Yeah, it would. The violation of the trademark is whether the ordinary consumer would be confused as the source or origin.
Now I want to ask a question. When you click on crackerjackmudjacking.com and it takes you to that other website, and they get there and the consumer says, wait a minute, this is not Crackerjack, it's somebody else. If there was no brand confusion, but they were still trading on that name.
Yeah, they're still trading on the goodwill.
Okay, so it's still a violation, even if not one person was confused, it just diverts them.
That's right.
That's what I thought, because it's unfair. I was told, well, sometimes if it doesn't confuse people, what difference does it make? It makes a lot of difference, because it's...
Well, you did confuse them. You confused them initially. You drove traffic away from the trademark owner's site and drove it to another site, whether that person
I wonder if that happens all the time to people. I mean, really.
Well, anyway, they're great people. And anyway, we need to take... oh, no, we don't. We can take another call. Good. Okay, Dan. Oh, see, he's off there. Okay, Paul, what's going on with you, Paul?
Hi, Tom.
Hey, what's happening?
Hi. Hey, back in June 21st, I quit DirecTV, changed over to Xfinity.
Yeah.
I had DirecTV and I have AT&T phone. So anyway, I've been trying since June 21st to get rid of my DirecTV account. I've sent the equipment back 2 or 3 weeks ago. It literally took them 2 or 3 weeks or 2 months.
They're the worst. They're the worst company in the world. What can I tell you? They are the worst. And when I say the worst, I don't mean their technology. They have great technology. But dealing with DirecTV, in all of my experience, in all of my 47, 48 years, honest to God, they are the worst company. The worst.
Well, Tom, I got it. Yeah, and I got to agree with you. It really went downhill when AT&T took over them. Before that, I had them before that, and they were, mediocre anyway. But anyway, so long story short, now I have not paid my they're still billing me for DirecTV.
But wait a minute. Did you, first of all, were you under contract?
No.
Okay.
No, I was past my contract.
Do you have proof that you canceled?
I do. You know what I did? They told me a couple times, oh, you've got to call in and you've got to...
Wait, but you have proof you canceled and you have proof you returned the merchandise.
Yes.
And he hasn't paid, so what's the problem, though?
Yeah, what's the problem?
Well, because now it's still coming in on my AT&T phone bill. They're still billing me for DirecTV, and now they've decided to start charging me late charges.
I would cancel AT&T, pay just the phone part, cancel them. You got to cancel them. Go to with CenturyLink or somewhere else, just cancel them. I swear to God, you got to do it, and then just forget about it. And then, unfortunately, Paul, you don't like this, but being proactive on this hardly ever works because there's not one person there that wants to erase a liability. So what happens is you have to wait till they sue you. You have to show up in court and simply show your evidence. I know it sucks, but that's what... And if they ruin your credit in the meantime, you have to literally sue them for slander of credit. If you're calling for answers, those are the honest-to-God answers. It's not neat, but it's something that has to be done.
One caveat, do you have combined billing with them?
I do.
That's a big issue. That is a big issue. If you go to an actual AT&T store owned by AT&T, talk to someone there, tell them you have combined billing.
Good point.
They'll get you through to the right people.
Good point. You go to the store, though, and bring your proof with you. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Joe Lazzara is a criminal defense attorney, and I'm telling you, you won't do better. Now, the only thing you can do better is prevent it to begin with a designated driver, with Uber or Lyft, but Joe will help you through. He's not going to preach to you. I will. You don't need him. If you do the right thing, you get a designated driver. And don't think marijuana is different. It's just as serious. Joe Lazzara, he'll get you through the system whether you want to plead guilty, whether you're falsely accused, whatever it is. 303-429-6200. For big cases, he takes off $500 for Martino listeners. 303-429-6200, and look for Joe on my referral list at referrallist.com.
This is Denver's Talk Station, 630 KHOW. An iHeart radio station. Mornings, Michael Brown afternoons, KHOW Denver. How are you?
So, you're not big on the global warming thing, right? That's why I really, no, I'm not. I think, well, I think mankind probably has a little bit, a very small part.
But I mean, when you look at these
not
that erupt and they spew all that stuff for these big forest fires, like that one out. I was actually out there when they had that big one going out there in California. You can see smoke, spewing all over. It's like what's coming out of the tailpipe of my car is like,
right.
What?
Exactly.
That's I think they just push that because they just want to. They want you to feel guilty, and then you'll submit to whatever regulations they want to push down on.
But if Trump would have taken that out, there would be certain carbon taxes. And that's the big thing, carbon taxes. Where you got to buy, a company's got to buy these, and who's in charge of that?
And how does that fix anything anyway? It's just diverting money.
Well, they say it's going to fix because now it's going to help the third world countries.
Because it's like Al Gore claims to buy all these carbon
credits, I guess.
Credit. But then he sits there and he spends way more energy than the average person. So how is that actually helping him?
So I told the guy who was big on that, and he says, well, even he deserves to make money. That's what he told him. That's where they come from.
That's what it is. It's all about power and money. It has nothing to do with the environment. That's just how they make the ordinary person feel bad and feel like, oh, we should do this.
And that just makes me so angry because CO2. is the lifeblood of
I
plant
know,
parts.
yeah. Without it.
And that's
What I don't understand is you can have those BB guns that have CO2 cartridges. Why don't they just use the bad CO2 for BB guns?
There is no bad CO2. There's more CO2. There's more CO2 generated out of the ocean every day than out of anybody's tailpipe. And you need it because there is.
Where's most of the carbon monoxide come from?
Monoxide?
Well, actually, if you got a car that's very efficient, you don't get carbon monoxide.
Cow farts.
No, that's methane.
Methane too.
You don't want carbon monoxide.
And it's called burps. They actually burp up a lot.
How'd you like that one analogy I gave him?
Well, that was good. That was good.
The cow farts?
Cow farts.
Oh.
Cows let off more CO2 than anything else.
Methane.
Oh, that too.
They don't let off more CO2. They let out about the same CO2 as a horse.
And helium. You know, I didn't realize helium was a natural gas up until about 8 years ago.
Not only that, there's a shortage of helium.
I thought they fucking produced it. They
Where do
literally
they
go
find
to
it?
the atmosphere and get it.
Where do they find it?
Did you know that, though?
That's some
Where
of
do
it.
they find it?
They also do
atmosphere.
some wells and stuff. They actually drill for that, and they'll get like 0.5% of helium, and that's like a viable.
I thought they like made it from other shit.
No.
So helium, there's a shortage?
Yeah.
So we won't have any fucking balloons?
They need more balloons. But now that they're cutting out balloons.
Is there any other gas? But there's a whole bunch of gas lighter than air. Helium's not the only one.
Helium, hydrogen.
Why don't they just use
Hydrogen's the lightest, then it's helium.
Why not use
And
hot
there
air?
are some others lighter.
Well, you're right. There is some others than air, but air is a combination.
Bright Light Chiropractic is a bright spot in your life. If you're looking for pain relief, it's that easy. Gentle, targeted adjustments. With a hand activator, he's not going to crack and twist you. Seriously, this guy's a good guy. Dr. Mike Hederscheit, he practices chiropractic the old-fashioned way, directly to subluxations of nerves. That's nerves that are impinged causing other problems. It's that simple. That's what you get. You don't get fake stem cell therapy. You don't get anything else. You get wonderful chiropractic for your whole family. BrightenYourFamily.com. University and County Line. We're all patients. We love them. BrightenYourFamily.com. University and County Line. 720-583-4506. Just $50 for x-rays and a complete digital scan or thermal scan and consultation. And adjustments are as low as $30. BrightenYourFamily.com. Dan says the dealership switched ownership, and now he's got a problem with the warranty. That shouldn't be. I don't know what's going on, Dan. Are you there, sir?
Hey, Tom.
What's happening?
Yeah, Tom, how you doing today?
Good. What's going on with your car? When did you buy it?
Yeah, so 2010, I bought it in 2012.
Did you buy, it was used then, a 2010 used, and what kind? Used what?
It's a Honda Accord.
Was it under factory warranty?
Not when I originally purchased it. They offered me an extended warranty, and I denied it.
Okay, so what's going on?
Yeah, so this is actually a recall that Honda put out afterwards.
Okay.
There was blow-by in the engine.
Is it a recall that they're covering, or a recall you pay for?
No, they're covering it.
Okay.
And they performed the work. What it involved was they had to bore the cylinders and install new pistons and new rings.
Okay.
That was
Gotcha.
supposed to resolve the problem.
Man, that's an expensive recall.
Yeah, no kidding. It ran good for 6 or 8 months.
How many miles on your car?
Right now, 126 or so.
How many when this was done?
Oh gosh, it was under 100, maybe 95.
Anyway, so it was done when? What year?
So it was about a year and a half ago. I'm actually
all right,
not
gotcha.
at home
That's
in front
fine.
of the
That's fine.
paperwork, but,
So
yeah.
what's the problem?
Well, they started doing it again. It's burning oil again. That was about 8 months after the problem.
Do they? But they may not cover it a second time.
Well, and that's what I ran into. So Front Range Honda was the ones who originally performed the work, and I don't know if you know, but they got bought out by Mike Maroney.
Okay.
So Mike Maroney denied me, basically when I went back after 8 months, they said, well, you know, we're new management, and there's nothing we can do for you.
Well, what they're saying is they didn't do the defective work.
Right.
And they're right. Well, I mean, could you imagine if all the people came back that had work done under, well, why would they? If you bought a place,
sure.
You know, if you bought a place and somebody did shoddy work before you even owned it, you'd say, hey, it's not me, you know, I can't do anything. However, having said that, let's talk about this. I mean, certainly you would think Honda would like to do something.
So that's what I'm hoping, and that's why I was calling you today, because I didn't know if it'd be even worth going after Honda, you know, their customer
I missed the first part. Was it a recall? What was it?
If Maroney had any brains, they would say, you took it in originally for a recall to this dealership, you know, before we owned it. They did a bad job. Let's see if Honda will let us do it again. Then Maroney not only gets paid for a new repair, they also get the loyalty of Dan. So I don't understand, why wouldn't they even try?
No, and that's the thing, is as soon as that...
Then you got to go to a Honda dealer that's willing to do it. Other than that, there's no one to go after. They did a bad job doing the warranty work or doing the recall.
Well, and that's what they told me. They said if you want the work done again, you'll have to pay, you know, whatever the premium price for labor and parts and all their diagnostic work again.
They said the premium price. They actually told you they're going to charge you the highest price.
No, I'm just saying that because, you know, whatever regular premiums, I guess I'm just saying. But
okay.
But it is. Whatever their labor rate is, whatever their parts are, whatever is involved in diagnosing.
Okay.
Go
to another Honda dealer. You go there and you say this. Here's how I would present it. I would simply present it this way. I had a mandatory recall done, or a recall done. Honda paid for it. The dealer did not do it correctly. That dealer's no longer around. Would you please do it again, and please talk to Honda, because it's evident they did not do it right. Just put it that way. Not you owe it to me, not anything. I think that Maroney doesn't want to take responsibility because you went there expecting it. I think if you go to another dealer and you say, please help me out here, I had a mandatory, you know, and then when I'm ready to buy another Honda, I'd love to come to you. I mean, something like that. I mean,
I don't know if Honda's going to step up and pay for it, though.
Well, you know, Honda should. I mean,
that's
really
a lot of labor. Well, I don't. Why do you say that? Why do you say they should? They've already paid for it. Someone didn't do it properly, and it's no one's.
Well, who owned it before?
You know, it was a pre-owned lease.
No. Who owned? No.
What do you mean?
Who owned the dealership before?
Oh, Front Range.
Where are they?
Front Range Honda. I don't know. They had, as far as I'm concerned, they just had the one store here in Colorado Springs.
I'm just wondering if the ownership group owns something else, because, you know.
Yeah, I don't know.
They're the owner.
I know Mike Maroney owns a few different dealers.
Yeah, but he has nothing to do with it. He really doesn't.
No. Right.
I mean,
the last diagnostic I got was from a private mechanic that I'm kind of a friend with, and he was saying that basically he wouldn't touch the thing because it's already been worked on. When you talk about boring out cylinders and such, he said that he wouldn't even get into it. Cause
wait a minute, it may not be able. You may not be able to bore it out again.
He was talking about
plus you would have to know what ring set.
I wonder what they did wrong. I wonder if they bored it wrong, or I wonder if, or do you just have bad rings? Maybe they didn't seat. It could be something more simple than you think. It may not have to be honed, but I will say this, Dan. It's really, if they don't do it for you, I don't think you have a lot to stand on. So I'm going to ask you this. How bad is it?
Well, you know, I mean, it's definitely worse on cold days. Like
how bad? The worst. How bad?
Bad enough to, well, you start the car and it grinds. It grinds probably from anywhere to 1 to 3 seconds, and then it runs good for the rest of the time. Once it's driving, once the engine's warmed up, it runs fine.
So but I don't understand why it's grinding. That doesn't make sense to me. What does that mean? If it's draining down, that has nothing to do with rings. So I don't get it. The grind. Well, how do you know? How do you even know it's the same problem?
No, it was the same noise that it was when it first originated, and that's what went away for that 8-month period after they fixed it.
But I don't understand.
The same noise now.
I just don't understand why grinding, because oil coats no matter what. So I don't even know why it's doing it.
You know, I don't know, and to actually, you know, explain what it sounds like, I mean, it may not be more of a grinding noise, it's just kind of Gosh,
are you using oil?
Lower end.
Are you using oil?
Well, so I was told by a couple different professionals. One told me not to use synthetic.
Dan,
because it has a lower
I'm asking you, do you consume a lot of oil?
Oh, yes. Yeah, I'd say...
How much?
Every oil change over about a quart.
How many miles?
Oh, gosh. I mean, the car has like one of those automatic readers that tells you when to get the oil change done.
All right. Do you know how many miles per quart? That counts, man. You got to keep track of it.
Right. I got to start tracking it then. I haven't been.
Start tracking. If it's not burning oil or using oil, I wouldn't worry about it.
No, it is definitely burning oil. I mean, when I go...
I'm not talking about... Listen, I'm talking about excessive. And 1 quart in between oil changes does not sound excessive at all.
Really? For that low miles and being a 2010?
That low miles, you have 126,000 on it.
Yeah, but he's saying because the engine was redone.
Oh.
If they didn't do the bottom end of that engine, it could be a completely different issue, too.
Yeah. But
oil pump?
Here's the deal, man. You should take it to one of our mechanics for a complete diagnostic. Not a tear down, but a diagnostic. Just do that first. Or have SOS inspections. Norris, have him do a complete diagnostic. That's all he does. He doesn't do repairs. That's what I can tell you. Then call us back. I'm not saying we'll get it fixed, but maybe we find something, you know? 303-713-8255. Heidi, what's going on with you? Heidi?
Yes, hi.
What's happening?
Well, I emailed you guys, I think yesterday, and I have a friend. We kind of adopted a grandpa a couple years ago.
That's really nice of you.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's done. You know, my kids call him Grandpa, and he
that's
just became.
How did that come? How did that come about?
Well, it happened. There was a young girl that died in a car accident here in my area, and I went to the funeral only because I didn't know them personally, but I knew their neighbor. And then I met him. His name's Robert, and he was just when you meet those people and they get to you.
Yep.
That's kind of what it was, and he just was so kind and so loving, and so I sent him a little gift bag with a book that
And that's how it all started. So what's the problem right now?
Well, the problem is he needs a new car because he drives an old Dodge van that has about 250,000 miles. And
how old is he?
He is 73.
All right, hold on. So we got an old guy that needs a vehicle. Hold on. 303-713-TALK. We'll come back to you and talk about that. GenesisTotalExteriors.com. Mark Szymanski, great place. GenesisTotalExteriors.com. They do exterior work. They do about 20% interior work. They do great jobs on kitchens and baths and basements, but they do everything exterior, from the roof, gutters, siding, windows, decks, fences. If you need help, GenesisTotalExteriors.com.
This report is brought to you.
Guy, that car, we've had it forever. Dan says he can drive a stick.
She said she could. Well, that's the only. We got to unload it. Right. So we got 2 cars, right?
Yeah. We got another one.
Yeah, but we want Saturn. But I guess that
this one's ready to go, though.
Yeah, but at his age, can he really do it?
But it'd be harder to give away the stick.
It's too big to send. Okay, I got to just downsize it, and then I'll send it to you.
No, but really, so balloons, why not fill them with hot air? Then they'll just instantly go up anyway. Then you just keep them warm.
How do you keep them warm?
You only do balloons under a hot plate.
K-House. Keep your car running newer longer. Come into Firestone Complete Auto Care September.
Oh, they're starting. That's the next thing. They got rid of the plastic straws at Starbucks.
Oh, I read that. That's retarded.
So now the next thing they're doing is get rid of balloons. Because the turtles are getting.
Well, who would feed a turtle with balloons?
Some people do.
Those big long ones that they make animals out of?
They think it's another animal. They think it's another turtle.
Try to breed with it. We were in the Cayman Islands, went to a turtle farm. Holy shit, do they have big turtles, man. Big.
I went there.
Did you really?
They're
crazy.
Okay, was it a turtle zoo or was it a turtle farm?
Farm.
Turtle farm.
They went from small to big.
To this big. No, I know, but what did they
On this
do with
thing.
them for? What did they use them for?
You don't want to know. Shoot.
Okay.
Fuck yeah, they did.
How about the shell? Are you saying they don't use the shell?
No, they do use the shell. Haven't you ever seen Bugs Bunny? He bathes in the shell. I used to love Bugs Bunny when he was sitting in the pot and the guy's cooking them and he's cleaning and he's throwing in carrots.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Heidi, welcome. Hey, Heidi. So, you adopted a grandpa. How many kids do you have?
I have 4.
And how long you known this guy?
A couple years.
He's in his 70s. His van has 250,000 miles. He works at... He's still working. Wow.
Yeah, where's it? I heard he worked at Sam's Club in Castle Rock. Is that correct?
Yeah, he passes out samples.
Anything special about
I'm sorry?
him? Anything special about? I mean, other than a great guy. I mean, is there anything about his background, disability, anything at all we know? Anything?
Besides his personality, I mean, he just is. He would do anything for anybody, and.
Okay, so he's just an all-around good guy. We have to verify all of this. Do you think he can drive stick shift?
Yeah, I know he can drive stick shift. He walks with a cane. That's his only thing. He doesn't really have to. I mean, it's not.
We have a couple cars we can donate to the rightful good recipients, and we like to find them, and we do this often. And we do have a couple now, and one is stick shift, and the only reason I ask that is that it's really hard to place a stick shift, and who knows about our stick shift? Who knows about it? Dan, do you?
A little bit.
Suzanne, do you know? Okay, what about
Well, like I say, I can't remember what kind of car it is. It's not a great-looking car. It's got some paint peeling off it, but
we had Sheridan go
Sheridan went through it. He says it's really, really good.
How many miles on it?
I have no
About
idea.
a little 100. Good gas mileage car, though.
Kevin went through it. I mean, for what this guy needs, it's perfect. Long as he can drive.
Listen, Heidi, you need to talk to him about it, because if he doesn't feel 100% capable or comfortable with it, we'll look for other alternatives. But if you could at least start the conversation. Hold on. Suzanne, get her information. Let's start the conversation. We don't want to force it on him, okay? But just see. Because I'm sure there's somebody listening who says, if he can't, I'll take it, you know? And we'll see what we can do. Paint peeling off, but, I mean, it's in good, solid condition.
Daphne tried to give it to a homeless woman one time.
Why are you making fun of her?
Because I couldn't believe it.
That's all Mark likes to do,
It
Tom.
didn't fall through. Let's put it that way. The whole thing didn't work out.
There was some other thing. She didn't have a
She didn't have a driver's license either. It was getting bad.
Daphne's heart was in the right place. Steve!
Yes, sir.
What's going on with you?
I thought I was going to do a nice thing and buy some Grand Doozy tickets for my family and surprise them, and it turns out it's homecoming weekend.
So Grand Doozy is a festival this weekend?
Yes, sir.
It's not this. Is it this weekend? And it's a
this
new
weekend.
festival in Denver, Tom.
Yeah.
It's pretty
3
big.
days.
Anyway, so what do you want to do?
I'm willing to get rid of these for $200 a piece. I got them for $255. And
You
I
want us to
believe there's
sell
one-
your tickets?
just
I
get
thought you were
help
going
if
to. I
anybody-
thought you were going to say I want to give them away. No, I'm just kidding. Listen,
it might
Steve.
have to come down to that. Actually.
Steve, honest. When is this, and how many groups, and how good? You said they sold at $250.
At the pre-sale, I got them for $255 in January.
And Tom, I think it's an all-weekend event. I bet he
Where is
has
it?
3-day passes. Drew knows where it's at.
Let's just put out the word in case somebody wants him, and then we'll put him in touch with Steve. But Steve, you're on your own.
And
so is
be
the other
careful,
person.
man.
Yeah, be careful with all the scams out there. But at least we'll put the word out.
Well, and people be careful buying them. We don't know this guy.
2 Grand Doozy tickets, right, Steve?
I have 4.
4 Grand Doozies. Okay. Who did you originally buy them for?
I bought them for my family. It would have been me, my girlfriend, her stepdaughter, and my son.
But what happened?
It's homecoming weekend.
Oh, with the
My son
kids.
plays football,
Okay,
and
gotcha.
my stepdaughter's ready to get dressed up and go on a date.
Okay, gotcha. So, 4 Grand Doozy tickets. We'll put you in touch with Steve. I don't know, Steve, unless you want to be crazy enough to give out your information publicly here. You don't, right? You want us to forward people to you?
If that would be okay.
Yeah.
I tried to post them on Craigslist and
Yeah, scam after
that's
scam.
yeah.
Craigslist is a breeding ground for scams. Wow, total scams. 303-713-TALK. Okay, hold on now. We will, I don't know, yeah, we have time for a call. 303-713-8255. You can get right through right now. Problems, question, complaint, or you just want to unload and vent, you can do that too. So let's talk again to Mark Trenner, Trenner Law. We're talking about intellectual property. We talked about brand confusion, the goodwill of others. And what about Nike? Nike has that swoosh.
Right.
And I saw somebody protesting against Nike using a form of the swoosh.
Yeah, you can.
But with the American flag and saying, just stand. Or just stand for it. Just stand for it or something. Now, wouldn't that be like, could they kind of say, hey, you're infringing?
No, that's just free speech. Because they're not marketing a product. They're not trying to confuse anybody. They're just making a statement.
Okay. What if they were selling chairs and it just said, just sit?
So you can use
and it was the same type.
Yeah, you can use another person's trademark if you... Usually what you want to do is use it very clearly. Like if you're comparing Ford trucks to Toyota trucks, there's nothing wrong in that.
Right.
Putting their logo up there and saying Toyota. Or you need to be very clear that you're not trying to sell Toyota trucks.
Right, you're comparing to them.
Right, you can do that.
But what about if you were selling chairs and you wanted to use the swish and instead of just do it, you put just sit?
Yeah, so you probably can't do that because it would be confusingly similar. That's because it's Nike, and it's what's called a famous mark, and they're accorded a little bit more protection because everybody knows about Nike. Now, if it's just... If I have my own furniture shop and I have my own trademark and then somebody else makes a very similar logo and sells something totally different, that's probably not going to be confused because I'm just me, I'm not Nike, I'm not famous. So famous marks do have a little bit more protection, so Nike definitely falls in that category.
What about celebrity names? If you said, someone asked this, like even so-and-so would eat this, and he's a big fat guy. Can you use his name?
So there you have to be careful that you're not disparaging or that you're not implying an endorsement that's not there. You need to make sure that you're being truthful about it. Now,
how about if you said he probably couldn't finish it, it's so big, and you had a picture of a big fat celebrity? Like John Goodman when he was fat or something. I'm just curious.
Yeah, I mean, so now you're getting into...
you're trading on his name.
Yeah, you're trading on his name. He's not actually endorsing it, but you're still putting him in there.
So even if I took a photo of John Goodman, as he used, for example, coming out of a 7-Eleven or something, I can't just use that in my advertising.
So you can report it as news, as a fact that he was at this 7-Eleven at this location at that time.
But not trying to sell hot dogs with it.
Exactly.
Hey, you know what, Phil? Are you Phil?
I am.
And you want the tickets, and this guy hung up without giving us his number. So we're going to take your number, and the guy who just called us, man.
Steve, call us back.
Steve, why did he hang up? If you want to get rid of these tickets, Phil wants them. Phil, what are you willing to pay for them? $150?
Yeah, I want to see what date it is first, too, because I think most of the kids do have their homecoming, but my son did text me, and he said he would love to see what what kind of price he'd offer. And,
okay, cool. What kind of groups do you know, Phil? Or what groups are there?
I know. Sounds like
Kendrick Lamar, Florence and the Machine. It's
Stevie Wonder.
What? Stevie Wonder?
It's the first year for this festival.
That's pretty cool. Okay, hang on, Phil. We'll get your number, and if Steve calls back, Steve, we think we can get rid of your tickets, but man, you hung up without giving us contact information. So you can't, that's not good. So anyway, if I make something like they did for Crocs, stuff that goes with Crocs, those little jewels,
right?
Can I say made for Crocs?
Yeah, you certainly can. Because you're not trying to sell the Crocs shoe. You're just saying this is made for, or this goes on a Jeep Wrangler, or this goes on a Toyota.
I can say Barbie clothing?
Yeah, you can say it'll work with Barbie dolls.
Oh, work with Barbie. Yeah. Okay, I'm Tom Martino. Man, Bill wanted to talk to Mark, but we're out of time. Now, if it can wait till tomorrow, we'll take you up. Remember, referralist.com. That's where you find Mark Trenner, Trenner Law. He's at 720-221-3708. Don't forget, referralist.com for help, information, and referrals. I'm Tom Martino. Save all your problems for me.
Use a sign company. like 20 years ago for Mountain Peak Computers, and someone asked me if I knew a sign company, so I went to see if he was still in business. And look, my sign is on the fucking front of his webpage.
Really?
Yeah.
There's a lot of bands at this damn thing.
Where is it located?
Wood Park is that?
That was my logo you made.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy? That long ago.
Cool.
Oh, I can't wait.
Where's you at?
Marty there.
Like you're
So Mark,
But having a
Mark, hey, get us off audio.
I'll shut us down.
Do you think I'll get enough for a new car at least?